Hey friends, we are back for our finale of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu Dreams Beneath the Waves. We are so glad that you are here with us to witness whatever the hell is going to happen tonight. Before I go around and say hi to these lovely people, I want to remind you to go and check out the Black Cats Gaming Shop. Grab your copy of the Spy Game. Head over to DM's Guild, grab your copy of Dreams, Nightmares, and Half-Remembered Meetings, or the new Plays the Thing adventure that came out a couple of weeks ago. And hit up Drive-Thru for that Adventures of the Takeaway Delivery Drivers. And don't forget to go and plug your email into the link to sign up to get notified about late pledges for Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, because you know that you want to explore the waves and run into terrible mythos gribblies like our crew here has. But we are back this week. I'm sad that it is our finale, but I'm also really looking forward to seeing what trouble you manage to get yourselves into more than you already have. But let's go around and say hi to everyone. I don't have the Twitch screen up, so I'm just going to go by my Zoom screen. First up on this side of me, I have Hamna. How are you, friend?
Hello. I'm good. Very excited for today. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. And today I will be playing Lahab Zuffer, a seeker magic user who is trying, apparently the only one here who thinks that releasing Cthulhu is a bad thing, and maybe we shouldn't do that. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Laheb has become like the sensible one of the group,
Which is weird. Like, they
which is
weren't to begin with.
yeah,
So.
not what you expect to see from somebody with Laheb's particular magic skills. Um, Speaking of people that bring chaos, how you doing, Kurt?
Hi. Hi, I'm Kurt, also known as Covenant of the Total Alchemist. I am here to cause chaos and sow destruction because I am the only non-magic user in this party, and I'm fighting an uphill battle. I am excited for today. Yes, it sucks it's going to end. But at the same time, who's going to kill Papa first? That's the real question.
As we can see, apparently Kurt has already decided on his course of action for tonight. I can't wait for this. I do feel bad for Bart in some ways, that he's had all this spooky magic shit happening, and he's like, I can do nothing but watch.
It's all good. It's good. He's gonna like go down in a blaze of glory. Bon Jovi's gonna play, and it's gonna be great.
You just want that scene from Back to Blood, don't you? Just the equivalent of like a pirate jukebox playing somewhere.
Yes, I do. Hundo percento.
Speaking of spooky magic things, how you doing, Belle?
Oh, me spooky magic things?
You
Okay,
could do
I
the
thought you were
spooky
going
magic
elsewhere
things
with
too.
that. No, hi. Hi, I'm Belle Cher. I'm doing great. I'm both excited and terrified for this. This is going to be amazing. I can just tell. I'm playing Winifred Teague tonight. She is a wind caller. She is the 65-year-old cook of the crew, and we're now at the bottom of the ocean. So,
Insert nervous laughter. And last but not least, speaking of somebody who makes all of us laugh nervously, hey Noir.
Hey, how's it going? I don't know why I would make you laugh nervously. I'm just a nice guy. I'm playing Papa, who is just, quiet, contemplative soul, just doing his best. Never done nothing wrong in his life.
Debatable. Presses X to doubt.
He's just trying to bring people together the best way he knows how.
Through mutual assured destruction?
I mean, you say potato, I say potato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Well, I suppose then we should jump into tonight's episode, picking up exactly where we left off a couple of weeks back. After sailing out with Captain Haid and finding yourself veering off course, you all found yourselves swallowed by the Kraken that Papa had called up from the depths. only to find yourself seemingly at the bottom of the ocean, but able to walk around and breathe, standing aboard your ship in front of a monstrous city that just looked wrong in every way, shape, and form. And you all, for very different reasons perhaps, made your way through into this city, chasing after Laheb primarily, who has the key. And you are now standing around kind of all of these converging points at this huge monolith-like plinth, which sits in the center of this monstrous city. Laheb tried to carve out a piece of the rock. Papa has had some interesting notions about what we should do from here. Kurt managed to catch up to watch the argument between Laheb and Papa go down, and Winifred has just arrived. Apologies, I have a bit of a cough. Winifred has just arrived alongside Captain Valera. And so I think I was asking you all to roll for initiative. I say roll for initiative, so give me your initiatives, because we have fixed initiatives in Cursed Captains of Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
So, Laheb, what is your evasion?
My initiative and evasion are the same. They are 12.
Sorry, I meant initiative. I looked at the thing on the character sheet. My brain read a word.
It's all good.
Kurt, what's Bart's initiative? Bart's initiative. I can't do words today.
12.
12. What is? Okay, can you and Laheb just do a roll off for me? Just roll a d6, so we can see who gets to go first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do that again. I rolled like the 4 dice. Okay, there we go. I got a 4.
So Laheb will go first there. Winifred?
I have a 10 initiative.
And Noir. What's Papa's?
I have a 10 initiative as well.
Okay, could the two of you roll a d6 for me and roll off?
Okay, I have a 6.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing. How many dice? 1. Okay, there we go. Oh, well, that's a 1. So
A 1 and a 6. There is the fate in action.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm just putting these all in the chat for you folks so that you can also see. I need to have a look at Valera's initiative.
Ooh,
I have stats for Valera. Jesus. I know I asked James to make him a bit beefy, but like, eesh.
20? Okay.
Oh,
All
Valera's badass. You wanted a badass captain. You got a badass captain.
I mean,
I don't like it because this is a 1v4 and I'm supposed to be facing this badass captain. All right.
Okay, well, it is Valera's turn, but I don't think he knows what he's walked into. So he's not actually going to act right now. So that brings us down to you, Laheb, as you are kind of half on this huge slanted monolith plinth as you've been trying to carve a section of it, and you're managing to kind of make scrapes in the stone.
Yes. So trying to cut into the stone hasn't really been working to cut it off. So I think Laheb is just going to go, okay, you know what? Like, fuck that. We're just going to go in for it. So I am going to attempt to cast Runic Mine on this chunk of rock that I've already kind of like scraped into to see if I can get it to break off, basically. So that it will be a studies magic roll. I'll use 3 dice to do it.
Okay.
I got a 16 and my casting number was 12, so I hit it. So basically, what this looks like is Laheb, again, to remind folks, Laheb can cast magic without making any sort of movements and without, like, speaking. You see their mouth move, but you don't actually hear any words come out. And as they're, like, supposedly saying this spell, this, I think similar to the like runes that we've seen carved on the key and on the statue, similar shapes start to form on this like gravestone question mark on this stone in front of them. And basically, question for you actually, am I able to I'll have it explode on the same turn?
Okay.
In that case,
because that sounds fun.
okay, in that case, then I think they're not even gonna like wait to detonate it. They're gonna like jump back and detonate it. It has a short AoE and it does 8 damage.
I don't think anyone is actually close enough to you for that to catch
That's
like
fine.
Bart or Winifred or Papa. But you kind of jump backwards, half jumping back, half sliding down. You're not really sure with how the angles of this place just feel unnatural. And all of you hear this deafening echo sound as an explosion goes off, and there is splintered stone and stone dust everywhere. And as you look back, Laheb, you have blown a section of this huge monolith plinth apart. You watch as from the kind of crevice that's left, there is this thick, oozing black substance that just begins to pour down the side from this crevice.
And I think that's my turn.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Hey, Bart, it is your turn. You see this happen. You witness the altercation between Papa and Laheb just a few moments beforehand, where Papa looked like he was trying to cast something that didn't seem to work. And then you watch as this explosion goes off and Laheb lands on the ground, probably not too far from where you and Papa are, because you were standing next to Papa, if I remember correctly. And you watch as the stone dust kind of settles, and it's odd because it's like watching it float down through water as this thick oozing substance begins to leak out of the crevice that Laheb has shattered in the side of this.
No. Does Laheb look like they're in danger of it moving at them? Like, because before when we've encountered this black substance, it'll kind of like pull towards a person kind of deal, or is it just oozing down?
It's just oozing down the side like this stone is bleeding.
And how does Papa look?
Noir, how does Papa look?
Well, the connection between him and the Kraken has been disconnected, so he looks, I mean, it's Papa. He doesn't give too much away, but I would say the closest thing that you can tell is there's a look of concern, like, oh, that was stupid.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out if this is the normal Papa or if this is possessed Papa that we currently have right now.
I would say that the urgency and fury that he had a few minutes ago, that's gone. So yeah,
okay.
He sees like regular Papa, which is not very regular.
Then I would actually look to Papa and be like, do you know how to stop this or not?
Or not.
Great. Worth a shot. And he literally pulls one of the pistols from his waist, and he tries to shoot the ooze like any non-magic using regular old run-of-the-mill dude would be like, fuck it, shoot it.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll for that.
Clickety clackety, make an attackety. All right. Let's see. Oop, hang on. Wrong one. Roll. Do I need to have any modifiers for this one?
Not unless your weapon or anything that you have has any modifiers specifically. So this will be using your accuracy.
Accuracy, all right.
15.
Clickety clackety.
Yeah, you make the attackity. You fire off the pistol at the ooze, and you hear the sound of the pistol shot hitting this plinth monolith, and like shatters a little bit more. The ooze doesn't seem to react.
Does or does not?
It doesn't.
Well, that didn't work.
But the gun does fire underwater. That's cool. Okay.
Oh yeah, it does.
Is there anything else you want to do with your turn, Bart?
I will take one step back and one step to the right, so I am just out of Papa's field of vision, for lack of a better term.
Okay. You do that. Papa, you're watching this happen. What do you do?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what the Kraken wants, and I don't understand Lahat. So I would like to get clarity on one of the uncertainties that I have. So I'm going to walk out of this room because I felt when I walked in this room that my connection to the Kraken was suppressed. So I would like to.
You're not in a room. You are just out. Like you're out in this city.
Oh, I think he recalls when the suppression happened. He's going to try and walk out of that area so that the suppression goes away, so that he can hear the Kraken again.
Okay. You start retracing your steps backwards, Papa, and reaching out, trying to see if you can feel that connection. Go ahead and make me an abjure test.
Let's go. Abjure. Oh, and I'm good at that. Awesome. Yeet. My modifiers. Okay. That'll be a 20.
You don't have to go back very far as you get away from the plinth and tracing your steps back. And you're not sure if it's the tracing your steps back, which is making the connection feel like it's there, or whether it's because you're focused in on it now and you're channeling that, trying to find that little thread that you know is still in the back of your mind somewhere. But you do start to feel it again, that overwhelming presence.
And I'm just going to ask, what is it exactly that we need to do here?
Release the one who sleeps.
How?
I took and I received. The key and the ritual.
Celeb. Okay. And I just turn around and I would like to cast, if I could. I am going to do Sharpened Light.
What if you just didn't?
And the blackness is going to come out of his eyes, the same liquid that he consumed, and there's going to be like a burning light behind the blackness of his eyes, and it's just going to shoot straight at Lance. Yeah.
Do I make any saves, or is this just straight damage?
This is an attack roll, I
It
believe.
is. So you roll to cast, and then I believe you roll to attack. I think.
Yeet. That's a 20.
So you manage to cast it, and then you make an attack roll with a +10 modifier.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Oh, yike.
Yeet. 25.
That hits, yep.
So it's just.
So go on, Noah. How much? I was going to ask how much damage it was.
That's 8 burning damage.
Okay, all right. That's like
He's-
most of my health.
He's
Out of
going. I'm
Nowhere,
sorry.
Laheb. Suddenly there is a bright flash from somewhere behind you, and as you turn to look, and you see Papa, you feel this horrible burning sensation, like burning your retinas from the actual brightness of it, and just a sensation across your skin for a minute as if you're on fire. But what you see when you look at Papa is up to Noir.
When you look at Papa, you can see the eyes are like glowing and shimmering, and like the veins around his face are all completely black. And it's like an inversion of his face paint where there was white around his face and white and black on the eyes. Now there's black all over his face and white on the eyes, and like an unnatural glowing coming out of his mouth as well. And he goes, "We need to end this, Lahab."
I'm trying, Papa. And I think Laheb kind of like pulls their collar off to show where, like, on the side of their neck, they had that one, like, tentacle, like, bruise mark corruption. I know what it is you're feeling, but you've gone too far. We need to end this, I agree, and I'm trying to do that.
What is it exactly that you think we need to end?
We need to prevent whatever this thing is from being released. I know you think that we can harness its power to bring about good. I don't know. But trust me, you are way in over your head.
Lahab, we need to end this. And he's kind of just looking, and you can see that there's no illusions about using whatever is sleeping for good. It's just he's been taken, and it's just bringing an end to it all.
Okay. One thing I do want to point out for chat, for anyone who didn't see the end of the episode last week, a couple of weeks back, we've all talked about this, and all of the PvP is all good. We have safety tools and everything behind the scenes, so nobody worry about that. Winifred, you're standing there with Valera, who, you know, you've both kind of like had your arms linked as you've walked through this city. And now you're watching this, and you see this bright flash go off, and you have to blink for a few seconds as the image of the scene stays, and then that kind of overshadow fades.
Right. Okay. I am familiar with that spell. And I see that it was aimed at Laheb. By can I see everyone? Okay, and I know that Papa cast it at Laheb. And I'm not going to have any of that. Lahab has the key too, which I would like to return to Valera, who is, you know, we're the owner of the key. So I head over to Lahab, and I reach out to now. Can I walk? Am I swimming?
You're walking.
Can I
but
swim?
It's odd. You are walking as if you are on dry land, but you are very well aware that water surrounds you everywhere here. It's very odd. Your hair and your scarf floats as if they're in water. Everything behaves as if it is, but you're breathing and walking and talking. It's mind-bending.
Sure is. Love it. Hate it. But I reach out to Laheb, and some warmth comes from my hand as it closes upon their shoulder, and I cast Healing Balm. And
Go ahead and make your roll for that.
Yeah. How many? What is okay? It's okay. So I'm going to use Abjure as a modifier.
That will hit.
Yes.
Casting number's 8 for that, right?
Yes. Casting number is 8. Yes.
So the target regains d6 health points. So go ahead and roll a
1d6. Yeah, 1d6 health. Okay. No.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any rerolls?
Regardless.
I do have a reroll. I do, and it's an Abjure spell. Oh well, we're at sea. That's we are at sea, aren't we?
We are. I'll let you use the reroll for that.
No.
This is meant to happen, y'all. Don't fight it.
Noir's bribed roll 20. Clearly.
Don't fight it.
Sorry, Hamna.
You heal.
I call cheating.
You heal 1 hit point, Lahab.
Okay. I was hoping for more. And then I looked them in the eye and I said, "We need the key back now."
Are you with him?
I am with him, and I point to my captain.
And Valera, but just behind
Valera.
Winifred is Captain Valera, man you haven't seen in quite some time, and he does not look in the best shape. Still as fancy as he can possibly be dressed, but bedraggled and like he hasn't shaved in quite some time. As he is looking about confused, and you can see he's got one hand on the sword that he keeps at his belt, but it's just trying. You can see the look on his face as he's trying to work out what's going on.
You know that Papa is after this, and that it is after this. Do you want that to be you?
If so be it, yes. I feel like you can be useful doing other things, perhaps.
Can I trust you not to use it the way that Papa wants to use it?
Oh, we're not opening anything down here. Nope.
Then I think Lahab goes into their jacket pocket, pulls out the black stone, the black key, and holds it out for Winnie.
Winifred takes it and looks like she's handing it to Valera. But can she palm it?
Are you trying to fool Lahab or Valera?
I'm trying to fool Papa.
Okay.
Or everyone who's watching, honestly. It's just
Go ahead, make me a savvy test.
ooh, a savvy test. Oh, that's only a +1.
Is this gonna be an opposed savvy test?
It will be.
Like are we getting opposed rolls on this one?
16.
16. Okay, everybody else go ahead and make me. This is also going to be a savvy test, as I imagine you're all here, kind of everyone's.
Oh, everyone's
tense,
yeah.
Everyone's watching.
Oh, Hamna got it.
I got a 21.
Okay, you notice, Hamna, as Belle goes to hand this off to Valera, and Valera extends a hand to kind of take it. And I imagine there's a look between you two.
Yes,
Winnie,
there is. Yeah.
where he realizes what you're doing.
Right.
I do believe I get a nudge.
You're welcome to nudge one of those dice.
Oh.
If you get a nudge. So a nudge just drops one of the dice up by 1, basically.
Oh, okay. That's a tie.
That would put you at a 16. Lahab, you notice the look, right, between these two people, and you know your captain well, and you know Winifred well, and you realize that Winifred has not given Valera the key. She has tucked it away into her sleeve, and the flourish of his, really fancy, large, embroidered sleeves with this lace that kind of spills from inside them covers up the fact that he does not, in fact, take the stone. But as far as you're concerned, Valera now has the key.
Yeah.
Papa, for a second, you realize who's holding it. It must be Valera. And then you notice Winifred adjusting her sleeve and the slight outline of the key within it. But this brings us up to it being Valera's turn. And he quickly turns to all of you. We should go now. They will be coming. They will be on their way here. If you've already started something, leave Papa. If he's too far gone, we only have the rest of the crew now to protect. That's where our loyalty lies. It's where our duty lies.
Exactly how do you intend to get out of here, Valera? Who do you think?
To look at you and draws the sword. Are you going to stop me, Papa?
No. I'm going to watch you run in circles until you die. Or we can talk.
He stands there holding this sword, like in front of him defensively. Let's see. He looks at you as you say this. He looks around at this monstrous city. And you notice that there is no fear in this man's eyes, just fire.
That's why I came onto your ship. But really, I have to tell you, you can put that piece of metal away. All it will do is kill my body. I'm the one that called the Kraken here. I'm the one that has given you a second chance. And if you want to leave, I'll be the one to open the door. And when you walk out of it, you will have a life for as long as we will it. And it'll be a good one, perhaps. Or you can stand in our way, and you could spend the rest of your days here. And I'll watch with glee as I guess which gives out first, your sanity or your body.
As you speak, there is still no fear. You can see he grits his teeth, looks over to you, Bart, and you, Lahat, and over to you, Winifred. Go. Now. And he is going to use, he can make a third action in a turn to command to give any other player character or his ship a single action. So he is going to give a second action to Winifred. And this happens before your initiative. So Winifred, you get the chance to do something now if you wish.
Can I leave?
If you want to.
I go to leave.
Go ahead, make me a harness test, please. As you try to make your way away from this monolith. But remembering the way back is hard. Everything looks the same. Everything looks wrong.
As Winifred starts to leave, can I just have Papa go, please, Winifred, don't run. I will not enjoy killing you.
18. You start to make your way out, and as soon as your back is turned on everything, it's like you may as well be somewhere else. And for a second, you think that as you start running, you've somehow turned yourself around. But as you look ahead, you don't see the monolith and the plinth, and you can hear voices behind you. Lahat.
Having heard this whole conversation between Captain Valera and Papa, and then seeing Winnie disappear, and where the hell did she go? I think it's very clear to Laheb that getting out of here is not going to be easy. Even getting here wasn't easy. And so they are going to do the one thing that they can think of to try and get enough information to get out of here. And that is casting Insight of the Other to contact Cthulhu himself.
Okay, I'm here for it. Go for
Okay.
it. Make your casting roll.
I'm using 3 dice. I have a +6 modifier. 19 hits. It is a casting number of 15.
Okay.
So
you get questions, don't you,
yes.
for this? And this costs you courage as well?
Yes. So what happens is that if I cast this, I lose 3 courage points and I can ask a question. The answer has to be truthful, but it doesn't have to be complete, a sentence, or even the whole truth. And then another question is another 4 courage, and then another question is a 6.
Okay. What is your question?
So I think Laheb is standing here on this plinth, this shattered plinth, and they sort of close their eyes and they think back to when they went out into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And they try and recreate that feeling in their head. And so they repeat Cthulhu in their head until something answers.
You only have to repeat this a couple of times. And in your mind, as you try to think about the ocean, the image of the plinth before you comes to mind. Except everyone else is gone. And it's just you standing before this monstrous plinth, which is bleeding from the side where you shattered it. And it's from within that dark, shattered, bleeding hole that you feel something reach out. Like it's waiting behind there.
As soon as I can feel its presence, I will reach out towards it and ask, how can we leave here?
You see an image like before. The entity doesn't speak so much as it shows you things. And in your mind, as you're imagining this scene, it's suddenly like you're overcome. You find yourself, your hands bloodied. You're not sure how they got this way, but you're drenched in it. And in one of them, you grip that black stone with its carvings, it too drenched in blood, and you climb your way up this impossibly big monolith of stone and place it into the top. And you watch as you follow your fingers around the edge of the inscription that it helps complete. As you hear other voices behind you, and out of the corner of your eye, you can see the flashes of a coat not too dissimilar to the one that you're wearing, that you stole from one of the Spaniards who you'd encountered from the cult of the Dreaming Water. And you find yourself chanting, watching as the blood smears across this stone, as you follow it all the way down, like reading the page from a book. And then you feel it crumble beneath you, and you fall forever into the dark. And it almost laughs at you, as if it's making some kind of sick joke about how you leave this place. If there is another way, it's not telling you.
I think just out of spite and anger and frustration, really, at this whole situation, Laheb is going to spend the other 4 courage to ask the second question, not really expecting a proper answer to this question, but just going to ask it anyway. And how do I kill you?
I want you to go ahead and make me an abjure test. Because I imagine this is like spite and anger that you're like launching at it, right? It's the kind of question that you ask when you're angry. 15. You don't get an answer right away, but you feel something. The closest thing you can describe it to is fear, but it's not. It's not afraid. This entity is not afraid. Like it doesn't believe that it can die. There is an absence of the fear of death. Just for a second, just a split second, as you lash out at this in anger, as you catch it off guard, as it's had this connection with you and has tried to draw you deeper and deeper to it, you get the image of the plinth shattered. No key, no bloodied hands, just stone falling into nothingness. Just for a second. And then it's like it's laughing at you again. And its fear of death is absent. As if it's saying it doesn't matter what you do. It cannot die. It has not died. And it will not die yet. But in between that smugness, that assuredness, that's just that split second of that image of the stone crumbling away into dark nothing.
I think Laheb starts to laugh back at this creature. And just before severing the connection, they are going to repeat the thing that they said to Papa on the ship before Papa plunged us into this world. Watch out for the sunset. And then sever the connection.
And you cut that connection. It's not like the gentle drift back that you had on the beach to some kind of consciousness. It's gone like a flash, and it hurts. And you can feel the bruising feeling across the side of your body as you know that that tentacle-like bruise has extended itself. But it's gone. The connection is gone, and you can feel it for a minute still clawing to get its way back in before it goes away completely.
If I may, I think when Laheb comes back from this sort of dreamscape, they're kind of maybe like doubled over, like on their knees, like breathing heavy, and they look up and like frantically try and find Bart, and they say to Bart, "There's a way to kill it. Destroy this monolith." And that's my turn.
And for you, Bart, this has taken Laheb, what feels like could have taken hours or minutes, you're not sure, has been a couple of seconds for you, Bart, of watching Laheb just for a minute seem to focus in and then, be bent over, breathing hard before saying this to you.
I put 2 in Papa Sad Soul.
Let's go.
Go ahead and make your attack.
Nope.
Does 9 hit your evasion?
It does not.
Does not.
Can I flavor this?
You can, but you just pistol out, take a shot at Papa from behind.
Faster than you've ever seen a move, you just see it just catches it.
And Papa, in the split second before you do that, you hear a lingering voice behind you. And the instinct kicks in as you hold this piece of shot between your fingers. And your fingers are burning from the heat, from how quickly this traveled before you brought it to a standstill.
Please tell me Papa has some sort of a retort.
He's just gonna look at it and look at Bart and go, "Wait, your turn." Oh, I hate this. I'm sorry.
Straight up, Bart just goes, "Okay," and reaches into his back of his coat and produces a grenade.
I forgot you had one of those.
And he just stares, just like,
Since when have you had a grenade?
I have had 3 grenades since the start of this game.
Oh, saving them up.
Is it?
It's on my character sheet.
I think it's Papa's turn right now.
It is Papa's turn right now.
Oh boy. Oh, there are decisions to make. Oh boy, y'all have put me in a pickle. You have put me. Okay. You see the very familiar sight of where he caught the bullet. There is a drop of blood, and then it begins to spread all throughout his body. And he begins to take that same demonic form that he had before, but instead of it being red, it's red like his blood. It's black like the liquid that was on him. And I am casting Shielding Aura. Let's go ahead and cast this. Yeet. Okay, so that was the casting goal. Now I count as having heavy cover and reduce any damage I take by 2. And he's going to look at Lahat on the ground and smile. You asked how best you can kill him. You won't. And you see his eyes start to glow. And it's very clear that his next turn is going to be sending that light at you again. But that is my turn.
Okay. Winifred, you are still running, making your way through this city. And I'm going to say with how well that you rolled, it feels like forever, but also a split second before, just off in the distance, you can see the outer perimeter. You can see the headsman, the ship there, the dreamer not too far from it. You can also see somewhere off in the distance a shifting dark mass. It doesn't seem to be getting any closer, but you can just see it slowly drifting.
Don't like that. Okay, and the whole time Winifred is like holding Kiki to her, like very close, and like talking to Kiki the whole time, and trying to reassure Kiki as if Kiki's her monkey.
And Kiki looks afraid. You've noticed all the time that you've been walking through this city, Kiki is distracted. It's like the reaction she normally has when you walk through a tavern and there's lots of people and she's interested, except she's on high alert. It almost makes you feel like there are other people here, that you're being watched. It's really unnerving, and she's not even screaming.
Right.
It's like it's like that kind of panic where even animals don't want to make a sound.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're almost out. I just keep on going.
You make it to the edge of the city perimeter. And then you notice there's another ship here.
Do I
What
recognize
strikes
it?
you first is the figurehead. Huge shark jaws with a writhing black mass. As you see the bright coats of the men aboard making their way down the side ladders, moving around the top deck, pooling like blood along the bottom and making their way towards you, this sea of men in red.
Does it seem like any of them have seen me?
Not yet. You're pretty far out.
Okay.
And where you are, you're kind of almost higher up than they. You're not really sure. It feels like you're level, but also your perspective is, you're still within this city and the perspective is just all wrong.
Sure. I do not exit the city. Instead, I go to tuck myself, hopefully out of the way of them coming through.
Sure. I'm going to let you do that. I won't make you roll for it. You tuck yourself behind like this huge outjutting piece of stone that might be an archway or a doorway or a pillar. Trying to work out what it's connected to is maddening. But you tuck yourself away, and weirdly, even though all of that is happening behind you, as you look off to your left, you can also see it, as if the perspective and the space here is just wrong.
Yeah, I just try to keep out of eyesight as best as I can.
Okay, we are back up to Valera, who is going to approach you, Papa, as he has his sword drawn. This is your last chance, Papa. Whatever you have happening here, it stops now. I took that key to keep it safe and out of the hands of the people that would bring it here and do what it is you're talking about.
Well, then you have a choice, Captain. You can swing that shard of metal and kill this body, or you can save Winifred. And I would like to summon the Kraken now.
Okay, you'll be able to do that on your turn.
Okay, I'll do that on my turn
On your
then.
turn.
But I am telling him that I am summoning the Kraken.
He looks at you. His eyes go wide, but there's still no fear. And for a split second, Bart, you catch as he looks at you out of the corner of his eye. And there is just a slight nod. An acknowledgement. Before he turns back, and Valera does what it is that he's famous for. He takes his sword and he brings it down hard across the front of your chest, Papa. Let's see.
I don't know exactly how hardcover works.
He gets a +7 to hit.
Okay.
That is 21.
Oh, that's definitely gonna hit.
Okay, and then I also need to roll. James made Valera. I said Valera needed to be badass, and James did not fail us here.
Heavy cover grants a +3 to your evasion.
Oh, yeah, I'm still not gonna.
How
not gonna
many
do
hit
anything.
points does Papa have?
Papa has 14.
So Valera gets 10 slicing damage plus 3d6 vicious.
8 slicing damage.
8. So that's 18 points of damage.
Yeah, he just straight up killed Papa.
Well.
Oh.
Papa, you feel this sword blow cut across your chest. And there's a confidence for a second, but then it hurts. It's painful. Red blood, not the black, tarry substance that's been pooling from your eyes. It's just red. But I don't know if you would have ever have seen Valera in combat. maybe, but you know his reputation.
Yeah, no, I've never
He's
actually
not-
seen
he's called
him
the
in combat.
guillotine for a reason.
Yeah.
You watch as after one slash, he makes another. Valera gets to roll twice for every attack. I can't remember the shortcuts for rolling things on Roll20 anymore. Papa, you feel a second sword blow cut you down even further. As you lay there on the floor, you can feel the blood pooling beneath you as the life drains from your body.
If I could have one last word.
Oh. Maybe you think that as Papa. But there's one more thing you'd like to say
Mm-hmm.
before something else starts happening.
Nah.
You
Nah.
feel yourself draining of your life. And then something else. A voice that reaches out as the blackness that has been dripping from this stone monolith meets the blood pooling around your body. And there is a voice. And it is not the voice of the Kraken. It is the voice of something else, old and terrible, in a language you've only recently come to understand that you know. Would you like to dream?
It's all I've ever wanted.
Do you accept a deathless sleep?
Yes.
Free me. And although it seems that that mortal part of you has gone, you watch as this black substance mixes with the blood. And then it's gone, as if it absorbed back into Papa's body. And you can stand again, Papa. These open gash wounds on your chest. They don't heal, they're just there, and they start to look rotted and festering. And you stand up, the pool of what was left of your mortal life force at your feet. Something else running through your veins now. I would like you, Noir.
Oh no.
I would like you to refill your courage.
Uh-huh.
What is your maximum health?
14.
Okay, I need you to double that and bring yourself back up to full health.
Thank you very much.
Are you saying that Papa has 28 health right now?
I am.
B, why? Why?
Why?
Look, don't
Why?
look at me. Noir made
Why would
this
that need to
decision.
why?
What?
Noir made this decision.
Tell me, y'all, if you kill me, it's just gonna kill my body.
I forgot how brutal Valera was until I just rolled for his attacks and was like, oh god. Yeah. But no, I had planned for this because I know what Noir's like. Noir.
That's a compliment and an insult at the same time.
Oh, it's entirely a compliment. The voice in the back of your head now, you understand, is the great thing that sleeps and slumbers within the city beneath your feet. And providing it is okay with you, that is your sole purpose now.
Absolutely.
Retrieve that key, allow the ritual to take place, and wake Cthulhu from his slumber.
It's nice. It's nice to have a purpose in life.
Wow.
But you watch this happen as you see Valera carve into Papa and cut him down, and moments later, wounds that should have killed any man no longer seem to affect Papa. As Valera steps back, horrified.
Satisfied, Captain.
You are still a man, flesh and blood, and I can still kill you. Bartholomew, as he, without taking his eyes off Papa, starts stepping backwards and calls out to you. Sorry, my bad. Laheb, it's your turn next. But look, he does call out to you, but because he's seen what you're holding in your hand. But Laheb, you watch this happen as you finally regain your breath.
Okay. All right. That's a lot. Okay. Laheb is going to get up I think it's obvious that Laheb is not doing so hot physically, because it takes them a little bit to stand up, and like even still they're like holding their side, and it's still a little bit difficult for them to breathe at this point. But they see what has happened, and they know the only way to prevent all of this from happening and to maybe save Papa from himself is to destroy this goddamn monolith. And so they are going to, again, try and cast Runic Mine. But this time, casting it like... So, Captain Valera has walked backwards a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
This Runic Mine is going to get cast on the monolith right next to where Papa is standing.
Okay, so like right by the base of this thing, a little bit further down from where you'd already shattered it.
Yeah, I'm going to use 2 dice for this, and hoping that my modifier is enough to get me through it. It is! All right, beauty. We're going to cast Runic Mine. So again, you see Laheb's mouth like moving, but no sound comes out, and these runes start to form. I like to imagine that they form in a circle around Papa this time. And in an instant, Laheb kind of looks up at Papa and says, "I'm sorry, my friend." And then, boom, the rune goes off.
Okay, how much damage does it do?
It does 8 damage.
8 damage, Papa, as you almost feel the words, the runes, as they are magically carved into the floor around you, like you are somehow connected to this strange city, and its angles and shapes no longer seem strange to you.
Do I by chance still have my shield up?
No, because you technically did die for a second there.
Cool.
So you take that 8 point of damage as this knocks you off your feet. And you feel a little bit in you especially as the bottom part of the monolith splits open again. And there's a cloud of smoke, of stone dust, and it begins to bleed once more. You feel that's what hurts you more than the explosion that knocks you off your feet. Like it feels like a gut punch somewhere in the empty cavity that is now your chest. As you watch this blackness ooze out across the floor, washing away finally any last trace of your mortal blood.
And I think Laheb will pull out their spadroon in one hand and just start to walk backwards away. They're not like leaving this area just yet, but they're making to leave.
Okay. Bart, it is now your turn.
Right. So does Papa look, since this explosion, does he look physically damaged?
Not particularly. He's covered in kind of stone dust.
Okay.
And any of the clothing that he might have on is bloodied.
But there's no like there's no sign that attacking the monolith had a direct effect on him.
Not that you can tell.
Okay. Well, then Bart's going to go with his best instincts that he has. He literally just kind of looks over at the captain and literally says, tell Hornigold I did good. And he runs with a lit grenade and bear hugs the crap out of Papa Sad Soul.
Okay. How much damage does your grenade do?
So a base grenade does 5. I have 3 of them on me, and I have approximately 7 pistols.
Oh God. Okay. It's gonna be 15 points of damage to you and Papa. Although I will need you to make a test to see if you can actually grab Papa, because I assume that you're not just gonna let this man bear hug you.
Oh no.
So I need you to make opposed. I need you to roll a brawn test.
Okay.
Papa, you can either, I'll give you the choice. You can rely on your evasion here, or you can roll actively against Bart.
I'm gonna roll actively against it because
Brawn.
Ron. Oh, I'm actually surprisingly good at that.
You run at Papa and go to put your arms around him, and you get them around there. Papa, how do you break free of this?
I just whisper to Bart, what a waste. And then I would like to just flip him over and put a foot on his back, because I'm imagining the grenades are on his front. It just
So, fun fact, grenades are an AoE based weapon, and everything caught in the area of effect takes the damage. So, boom.
Hold on here.
Ooh.
He throws you over with a force you didn't know Papa had, and you land on your front. And I'm going to say that the 2 grenades you have on your front, you can't light those to set them off, right? They would have gone off in a chain reaction. The grenade that you're holding, however, you drop that from the impact and it rolls. So I'm going to make both of you take 3 points of damage as it kind of rolls off, explodes, and it like you catch the edge of the shrapnel and some of the force, but the amount of damage that you'd intended to do by setting that off and the 2 other grenades on your person does not come about.
Where does that grenade land? Does it land on the monolith?
I would have flipped them away from the monolith. But I mean, if
The
it
stone
rolls that way,
shatters, but not at the monolith. No, I imagine that Papa would not be throwing Kurt towards the thing with the lit grenade. But you currently lay flat on your face on this cold, stony floor, and you can feel some of like the outcroppings of rock digging into your side. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Bart?
Well, no, I'd actually think I was going to live past this turn. So, to be perfectly honest, because I can't think of any other way to try and get his health down to 0, and that didn't work.
Papa, it is now your turn.
Know that I mean this with all the respect in the world when I say you are too dangerous to leave alive. And the white goes around his eyes again. And is it a full action to summon Cthulhu? It probably is. Damn, I've got choices.
Well, I mean, you can't really summon Cthulhu.
I mean, not Cthulhu, the Kraken.
It would take up your whole
be a
turn to
full
summon the Kraken. You cannot. There's a note. You cannot control the Kraken. You can.
Absolutely.
Bring its presence to you.
Trying to think.
You
What's
know
the
it's out
smart-
there. You know it's close. You can feel it in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Go. Let it go.
Let it go.
I am going to with move my foot off of Bart and go, if you are all so insistent on having a fight and swinging around your metal sticks and playing with your explosives, then here. And I am going to just say, I could use some assistance. Our number one priority is Winifred and her monkey. If you see them, kill them. But if you don't, please come here.
And how do
And
you summon the Kraken? What is that like?
I am going to say that you see more of his humanity just fading from him. He becomes a bit more gaunt. The wooden leg that he has becomes more twisted and gnarled, as you can see like a black aura emanating from him, reaching out to wherever this Kraken is. And he almost looks like a marionette tethered to the Kraken at this point.
And it's not just you realize it's not just a black aura. It's that black, thick, inky substance leaking from the two huge gashes in Papa's chest that almost cut him down to the bone, that float up like ink in water before they begin to before it just dissipates. And Winnie, from where you are, as you start seeing, as you look out from behind this rock, and you see these men start to make their way over to the other ships. That dark, shifting mass gets closer until you can make out that it's not just a mass, it is a mess of writhing black tentacles that begins to skirt its way above these ships, bigger than anything that you can possibly imagine. Impossibly big.
We're just gonna stay here. We're just gonna stay here and stay quiet. We're just gonna no one can see us. No one can see us.
And Kraken, who I'm gonna throw into the initiative here.
It really doesn't need to be in the initiative.
Yeah,
I think I speak for all of us when I say
No?
we don't need it in the initiative order.
Right.
I mean, we get its flavor.
As you hear this screech. You watch as the water around you ripples with sound waves, and by the time it reaches you, it's ear-splitting, barely bearable. But you watch as it lets out a shriek as you look over at the headsman and a couple of the other ships here, and you can just make out the men on deck standing up, the men that were waiting there, who'd been ready at Valera's orders, as some of them drop and fade from view. Just hit the deck. A couple who are on the rigging just fall from the mast. Even of the few of the men in these red jackets seem to keel over at this sound.
Okay.
And it continues circling above as if it's searching, as if it's hunting. Have you ever seen like an octopus hunt in the way they kind of splay out and wait and then move? It's doing that somewhere above your head, above the ships.
I try to move. I try to stay in a crouch, so I'm trying to stealth if at all possible. And if I can distinguish which direction I can go in that would bring me away, That's the direction I try to go in.
A way would take you back towards the monolith.
You know, I will take that chance. I will go back deeper, a little deeper into the city to find a better hiding spot that's maybe halfway between the ships and the monolith.
As you push your way back deeper, kind of in the direction you came, off in the distance, maybe back towards the monolith, you hear the sound of explosions going off, of shouting.
We're not getting out of here alive. Oh my gosh. All right. Yep. Just you and me, Kiki. Just you and me. Just stay close, stay quiet, stay quiet. And Winifred literally feels caught in the middle, and that's where she's gonna stay.
Kiki again is getting more and more erratic, silent but erratic, until she's climbing off of your shoulder and trying to climb on what looks like some kind of stone carvings beside you, as she kind of half climbs up the wall and round and back to you, panicking, as she starts scratching at the place in your sleeve where the key is.
No, you need to, no. It's like a toddler and a candy bar, I guess.
Go ahead, roll me a savvy test here as you're trying to like stop Kiki like losing her shit.
Savvy +1. Oh ho ho, 20.
20. Okay. There is a split second where Kiki reaches into your sleeve
No.
and pulls on the key, but you manage to grab onto her and take it off of her and calm her for a moment as you tuck it back away safely. But you're now halfway between. You watch as this giant shape above seems to move off for a little bit, away from the ships, and you're kind of halfway between here. And that brings us back round to Valera, who looks at Papa, looks back to you, Lahat, and Bart. Let's go. Let's just go. Find a way to get the ship out of here and go. And he turns his back on you, Lahat, as he dives down to grab you, Bart, and pulls you up to your feet. Literally by the back of your collar, just hefts you up in one, throws you in Lahab's direction and says, go! Prepares his sword again, as he's now kind of on the other side of you, Papa. And he is going to give his commanding action to you, Bart. So you get to take an immediate action right now. You are muted.
Muted.
Pull out a pistol and shoot.
You go for Papa?
Yep.
Go for it.
I'm not one to back down from a fight.
I think he's trying to get you to run, actually.
Yeah, I know.
You rolled a 17?
Yee.
Yeah, that hits. Beats.
What's your damage there, Kurt?
It looks like it is 4 for a pistol. Is that right?
Oh, okay.
I believe that is correct, yes. So you take 4 points of damage there, Papa, as a pistol shot. This time you don't manage to catch it.
It just kind of goes in.
As it embeds itself, and you can actually feel it as it goes straight through the open gash in your chest and slips between a couple of your ribs. You feel the shot shatter on the inside of your body somewhere. Maybe it pierces a lung, but you no longer have a need, really, for those mere mortal organs that kept you functioning.
Always a pleasure, Bart.
And that brings us to Laheb's turn.
Laheb just shakes their head at Captain Valera. We can't leave Papa. I know there has to be a way to bring him with us. And once again, Laheb is going to use 2 dice to try and cast Runic Mine the same way that they did before around Papa. Oh my god! And I whiff it. I whiff the heck out of that spell. And it just doesn't go through this time. I think Laheb is like on their last legs in terms of courage. And I think it's being in this space is really draining them. And they're starting to lose hope, I guess, just seeing all of this happen. And so they pull out the black vial that they have, the vial of like black liquid, and they hold it out. And they kind of just yell into the space, hoping that something will hear. And they say, "Leave Papa alone. It's not him you want. I will offer you myself if you let him go free."
Go ahead, make me an abjure test.
Let's hope this goes well.
Knew I should have killed you.
21.
21. You hold this out and you say it. And by doing so, that connection that you severed sparks back into life. Will you retrieve the key? Will you swap your fate and his? Serve me. Finally, a voice, terrible and old, in a language you're not sure you've ever understood, but you do now. As it reaches out and there's a smugness to its tone.
I think to clarify, Laheb believes that they're doing this and that, like, because they will be able to hold off longer than Papa did, so they're going to agree, but it's not with the intention of following through, ideally. But they say yes.
Drink it.
Do you mind repeating that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Just the voice says, drink it. Join me.
And Laheb does. They will uncork the bottle and in an instant just down it like a shot.
It's thick and it's oily and it doesn't taste of anything, and you drink it and for a second nothing happens. Then you can feel it, like your entire body is extended, like you can feel this city around you, like you can feel the weight of Valera as he takes a step back. And suddenly, the angles that seem strange, that you had to bend your mind to even begin to comprehend the height and the size and which direction was which, leaves you. And suddenly this city is beautiful and it makes sense and it feels right. Are you going to be trying to resist the corruption here?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't make you roll for it this turn because I think you're very well aware of why you're doing this, but it's very alluring. It's suddenly like reality just makes sense. Like you've got it all figured out. It's just at your fingertips, so close. Understanding everything that you've ever wanted to know. And I'm going to say that is your turn this turn, as you all watch as Laheb downs this. And maybe Laheb, you don't realize it, but definitely Valera and Bart will see as the darkness that comes over Laheb's eyes, just like Papa. And then Bart, it is your turn.
Okay. This is probably not going to work. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work or not going to work, right? I am up and away from Noir, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Valera's basically like dragged you up and just thrown you.
How far am I from Lahat?
Not too far. He pushed you in Laheb's direction, trying to
Okay.
get the both of you to run.
Okay. I am going to, as swiftly as possible, move over to Laheb and like grab them, look them in the eyes, and be like, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!"
I can handle it. We just need to get Papa out of here.
No, no, no. I pull out Dorna's knots and I press them into your hand and like squeeze your hand. You're the only chance we got, kid. You're the only chance we got.
I'm not gonna die, Bart.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, you're gonna. Because that man, and he literally points over at Papa Sadsol, that man is dead. That is a dead man. And he's still walking.
Laheb, as Bart presses these knots into your hand, you know that there were once 3 knots on this piece of cord, and it was the one in the center that at some point seemed to have unknotted itself. As he presses them into your hands, you feel one of them suddenly untangle, and the string is a little bit longer. Go ahead and refill half of your courage pool.
Ooh, awesome. Thank you.
For a second, as you feel this, Dorna's words echo in your head again about the web. Those who control it and those who are trapped in it.
I'm trying really hard to be somebody controlling it.
Is there anything else you want to do, Bart?
I get another crack shot. I got 6 more shots before I'm out of bullets.
Go for it.
Yeah. I don't know if that one's going to hit. 15? It's a 15 hit?
15 hits. My evasion sucks.
Okay.
So that's another 4 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay. Another
All right.
pistol shot rings out and shatters one of your ribs.
You know what, Bart? You're starting to upset me.
Has the corruption started to let Papa go at all?
It's hard to tell.
I will say this much. It's almost as though Papa is embracing the corruption. So it's not just that he's being grabbed, it's that he's holding on as well.
You hate to see it.
He's having a he's straight up having a Palpatine moment right now. Unlimited power.
I mean, he might be you might be able to talk him down, but like yanking it from the Cthulhu side is only half of the battle.
Speaking of Papa, though, Bart, unless there's anything else you want to do, like make to leave, because you also know Winifred has gone off by herself. You all know that Winifred is no longer here.
I will leave Lieb with the remaining knot, and then I will haul ass out of there towards Mama.
You haul ass out of there, and as you take a minute to run, Winifred, you can hear footsteps, and the sight of Bart coming towards where you are comes into view. But Papa, it is your turn. As Bart takes his shot, makes his way out and leaves, and you're left there with Valera and Laheb, who you can now feel somewhat connected to. The patron that seems to grace both of you means that you are very aware of Laheb's presence.
I am going to heal myself first and foremost.
I hate that I don't have healing spells.
Okay, now we're looking good again.
I just want to point out, I wasn't intending to make Noir the big bad of this finale, but that's how it's kind of gone, and I'm okay with it.
He doesn't need the Kraken. He is the Kraken.
I'm going to walk over to Laheb, and I'm going to go, you finally see things the way they truly are. And I know that you are foolish enough to think that you could trick eternity, that you can fool the abyss, and that you can resist the inevitable, but you can't. So let go and join me in reveling in the end together, hand in hand. We can bring the world to its knees.
Papa, I've been here before. That's what you're forgetting. I've been here before. I've spoken to it before. You've spoken to what? The Kraken? That is small fry. I've spoken to Cthulhu himself. And I have made it out. And I will make it out again. I just need you to come with me.
Whose blood do you think it is that is in my veins now? The one that sleeps is in me, not the Kraken. The Kraken is killing that fool's crew. And I look to Valera.
Papa, we can get out.
What is it you're trying to do, Papa? Are you trying to convince Laheb?
I'm trying to convince her, yes.
Okay.
I'll convince them, sorry.
Providing you're all good with this, Hamner, if you're happy to let Noir try to convince Laheb round.
Given that I am currently being influenced by the corruption, I feel like the allure is probably there. So yes, I'm okay with this.
Okay. Go ahead and make a savvy test. Noir.
Oh god, I
Can
suck
it be?
at
Is it
savvy.
contested? Do I also roll?
You will roll. You can either choose, Laheb, to contest this with savvy or with abjure. The choice is yours.
I'm gonna go with abjure because my savvy is shite.
Fair enough.
Can I make the argument to use abjure? No, I'm just kidding. All right,
No, please.
Yeet. Ah, terrible.
Let's go.
It's tempting. And the influence of Cthulhu in the back of your mind kind of does this, right? Yes. So close to greatness. But you remember what you've worked on. You remember the danger of the things that you're dealing with. And it's just not enough to push you quite back into wanting it that badly.
The Spiderweb, Papa. You're getting lost in it. You've been lost in it. Don't forget what Dorna said.
Dorna was a small-minded fool. If you find yourself in a spider web, then become the spider.
That is not how we control it. That is what flies think before they're wrapped in silk and eaten.
Winifred,
Oh, yes.
you've had
Oh,
gunshots, pistol shots. This huge monstrous creature that you probably realize now is the Kraken swimming in the waters above you. And then footsteps running. And Bart's face. Covered
Bart.
in stone dust and kind of chewed up on one side where Papa put you into the dirt, Bart. Probably a little bit of blood from some of those shots as well. Comes running past you.
Bart.
What?
Kurt, sorry.
What? What do you want?
Bart. I'm here. The Kraken's out there.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's looking. It's killing people by the ships, and it's like looking.
What's it look?
It's
You see this dark mass, and you can just make out the tentacles and the deep blue water above you as it moves around.
Uh, hmm. Uh, Bart like instinctively looks back and then looks at like.
I don't know if it can sense the key or how
Wait,
it's.
you still have the key?
Yeah, I've got the key. Yeah, I've got the key. Yeah, it's not with Valera, it's with me.
What?
What's going on back there? What's happening?
Clash of the Titans is what's going on back there. What?
Okay.
What?
I slip it a little out of my sleeve, but then like tuck it way back in. But then I'm like, maybe you should take the key.
No.
As you slip it out, Winifred, Kiki immediately goes into panic mode again and goes to grab for it.
No, Kiki, no.
Shit,
Kiki.
shit.
Do you need help? Are you hurt?
My soul and my pride more than anything, but
Right.
but no, we need to get to the ships. We need to get to the ships. That we can fight. What's in there, we can't fight.
All right. I'm with you. Let's go back to the ships.
Okay, and Winifred and Bart, you start slowly and carefully making your way back towards. Are you heading for the Dreamer or the Headsman?
The Dreamer?
Okay.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Her confidence
Sure.
in the Dreamer's a little bit more than mine right now, so we'll go with it. Yeah.
He's the captain of that ship, so I'm going with the captain of that ship.
Start making your way back to the Dreamer. If everyone's okay, I think now would be a good time to take a real short, like 5-minute break. I hope Sam is there and saw my message in chat. And then we will see what happens as Bart and Winifred make their way back to the ship, and and Papa and Laheb. That's where I get people's real names and their character names mixed up. Try to seal, unseal, not release, but release Cthulhu. I love it. The two corrupted characters being left to their devices. So we're going to throw up the BRB screen, if that's good, Sam. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes. I don't know if Sam can hear. Hello, friends. We are back. So, I'm going to jump over back to Laheb and Papa as Bart and Winifred make their way back towards the Dreamer under the watery shadow of the Kraken. I'm going to drop us out of an initiative right now because I just wanted to keep initiative order so things kept moving. But Laheb, you are standing here and you can feel the influence of Cthulhu now. And you can see this monolith in front of you bleeding in the places that you have ruptured the stone and split it apart. And not too far from you is Papa, standing with this gaping X wound across his chest, left by Valera, who has also stood there trying to slowly back his way out. What would the two of you like to do?
You can feel it. You know what you want. So stop fighting.
I only want to know. And now I know. There's nothing more that I want from this. What you want is dangerous. That is not mere knowledge. That is apocalypse.
Sometimes it is necessary for everything to start over. Sometimes an apocalypse is necessary. Sometimes it's needed.
Do you think you'll survive?
No, of course not. Why would I want to?
What is this about? Is this just some way to end your life because you don't like the life that you've lived? Because you don't have to burn the world to do that.
No one should be forced to sleep.
With a force like that, it should do more than sleep.
And who are you to decide?
I am who I am. And with that, I think Laheb is going to try and cast Runic Mine around Papa again, but is not going to detonate it. So we're going to use two of our oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, that wasn't the magic. We're going to use 2 courage points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got to start using 3. I whiff it. So all you see basically is Laheb's mouth move in that familiar way that you know when they're trying to cast a spell and nothing happens.
It feels like Laheb as you go to cast that spell and you start to, in your mind, you start to see the runes carving into the floor around Papa as you visualize them to build them out. And it's like something in the back of your mind lashes out at you, breaking that concentration before they can form.
I'm sorry, Laheb. You're the one that is in over your head. And my eyes glow, and I would like to cast Sharpen Light. 4 dice.
Okay.
Miss.
19.
So now it's a +10 to attack.
So you make your attack roll. How much damage is that?
8.
Another 8.
And that's health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another 8 burning damage.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay.
No.
Let me just check something real quick.
They were too pure for this world.
Oh, wait, I have the knot. Yeah. I have the 1 knot left. Does that help at all?
Do you, in that moment, as it's still in your hand, because that's Bart pressed it into your hand, as you feel that burning sensation come again and the flash blinds you, burning your retinas, I will give you the choice. You can either pull the final knot and see what happens. Because I do have written down what all of these knots do. Or you can listen to whatever the voice has to say after your death. The choice is yours.
God damn it. I'm gonna pull a knot.
In that final moment, as your skin burns and your consciousness, you can feel it leaving your body. You yank hard on that final knot as you collapse to the ground. I'd like you to refill your health by half.
Woo!
We did it,
And-
folks.
Papa, as you cast this spell, you can feel in the strange sense that you have and this connection to the city, and by extension, Laheb through this entity. For a second, Laheb is gone. And then they're not. And you can feel the sense of some other magic at work here, another old, powerful magic. And the bit of you that is still Papa, just that little spark left of who you were before you died, recognizes Dorna's magic.
I'm just gonna I'm imagining Laheb is getting up after dropping. It's just gonna kind of kneel down, offer a hand to help them up, and go, "You're still in the web, and you've been given a second chance to make the right decision."
I've already made the right decision.
Don't die for nothing.
I don't intend to die at all. And you don't have to either, Papa. Come. And Laheb puts out their hand.
It's just gonna take your hands gently and lean in close and go, "The only one that gets to live forever is the dreamer." He's gonna let go.
Laheb is not going to let you let go. And is going to hold your hand tight and pull you in.
Laheb, you feel, as Papa says this, you too have this strange connection. Like you can feel the city around you. You can feel that monolith bleeding and how frail it seems. But you can also feel Papa as what's left of his humanity seems to drain in that moment. And he suddenly becomes just like part of the city, just like that bleeding monolith, just like the Kraken, which you can sense the edge of your perception.
It seems we've lost you then, haven't we? Well, I am sad to see you go, my friend. And with that, because Laheb has had their Spadroon out this whole time, their poisoned Spadroon, with Papa, like, pulled in, is just going to stab him in the stomach.
Make the attack roll.
Is that brawn or just regular?
Melee.
Melee? Okay. Melee doesn't actually matter. A 15?
My God, that does it.
Okay. That does 3 slicing damage and 4 corrupting poison damage.
Okay.
Does that poison damage continue?
I don't think so.
Same.
I think it's a one-time thing.
Giving him the old Tomberry.
Okay, I'm going to say because it is a poison, that is going to keep affecting you, Papa. However, you are technically dead. So I'm just going to take it as when we drop into an initiative, it's just going to be a single hit point every turn as that slowly leeches in. And it's not so much that it's killing you, but it is corrupting what is left of your mortal flesh.
Okay.
So it's 7 for now and then 1 every turn. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. If he can do anything, he's just going to laser eye one more time.
Man, there's got to be a way to dodge that, because like
it's costing me in terms of courage, but I'm still up there enough. Here we go. Yeet. Oh man.
Did you whiff
okay.
it?
No, it is casting number 9. I almost whiffed it.
And then you get a plus 10 to roll to your attack.
Yep.
That's your accuracy.
Yep. So that's a 20.
It's another 8 points of burning damage.
I'm dead unless Cthulhu wants to chat. I'm open to hearing Cthulhu if he wants to chat.
So usually what would happen when you die, you've got some time for somebody to come and pick you up, right, and stabilize you, but there is no one else here apart from the lair. So the burning sensation takes over you again, and you feel the spadroon as your fingers release its grasp as it's jammed into Papa's side. And you feel that darkness overcome you again. And this is entirely your choice, but a voice reaches out to you. Would you like to sleep for eternity and dream forever? Join me.
Is it a waking dream that you offer?
You will live, but you will serve. Just like Papa is no longer Papa and serves.
Can it be a life for a life? Give Papa his life back, and you can take mine.
Creature, that sense of smugness, that lack of empathy, it doesn't seem to care. You dream or you die. Choose. He chose to dream.
I do not wish to dream if this is the dream that you offer. It is not a dream, but a nightmare.
There is silence as you feel yourself grow colder and your consciousness slips away. Kurt, Belle, Bart and Winifred, you make your way on to the Dreamer, unseen by the men in the red coats. And Bart, you see for the first time as you're getting closer, as you're making your way there, a new ship has arrived. One with a shark jaw figurehead that is a writhing black mass within it.
Yeah, they're here too.
That would have been useful information to have on the way over.
Do you think we could take their ship?
What's wrong with our ship?
Well, their ship has, like, maybe...
Teeth?
Yeah. Maybe the Kraken won't attack us if we're on that ship.
Oh, that's a good point. No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That just feels like a bad idea.
Okay.
cabin
bad idea.
door bursts open on deck as there are still men up here moving the bodies of some others out of the way. Men who, Belle, you think perhaps were killed by whatever that screech was. And the face of one very pissed off, slightly afraid James appears to look at you, Bart. Quartermaster. Fucking Quartermaster.
Right,
I
are.
would love for you to explain how any of this is. Did you see that thing come overhead? It screams so loud it bursts some of these lads' eardrums.
Yeah.
I thought you liked calamari.
Yeah, but do.
When it's dead and I'm eating it,
We'll make it dead and eat it.
Yeah, it would be advisable to kill this thing if we can. Maybe we could ram our ship into it.
we'd have to get it sailing first. And we'd never build up speed, even if we could sail underwater.
Yeah.
We are underwater. I don't really understand any of this, quite frankly. It's driving me a bit insane. I mean, how do we get back up there?
Don't
He
need to.
points upwards.
We're
But that's
working on
that
it.
thing is how we got down here, Bart. It swallowed us and we ended up here. So if we kill it, how do we get back up there?
I'm operating under the assumption that if we kill it, everything will go back to the way that it was.
Yes. That's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what if it is the only way we get back up there?
Well, unless you want to make it your pet and call it Fido, I don't think it's going to be doing anything of that particular nature to help us. Listen, I kind of don't need your sass and your ass right now. What I need you to do is get the gun crews on the cannons, and the next pass it makes overhead, we unleash a full volley and try and kill this thing. Because trust me, what's waiting, and he points back to the city, over there for us is not any better. At all.
You want us to fire the 4-pounders?
It works.
I'm sure it does, but cannonballs through water? I don't even know how high up that thing is. High up, far out.
Literally, Bart pulls out a pistol, points up at it, and fires to show that his pistol still works as normal. And he's just like,
he just looks
it works.
confused.
Don't ask questions, just do it.
Yeah, we're just don't think too hard about things. That's the best you can do. Just don't think too hard.
So
About
we can
anything.
sail?
We can sure try.
We can try.
Well, we're already living in crazy country, so...
Sure
And he-
are. So let's get out.
And he starts shouting orders, getting the gun crews ready. Sails are unfurled, and they unfurl like they would do in the wind, but they move like they're submerged in water. It's very strange. It does take some time. And you notice that once you start unfurling the sails, that ship with all the men in red, their attention starts to turn to you. It does take some time, though, to get everything ready. And they are close, but they're not that close. They seem to be very preoccupied with making their way into the city. And it's sometime later, you don't really know how long, before you hear the call of captain on deck. And they're not talking about you, Bart. As Valera, bloodied, bruised, has over his shoulder as he climbs up the ladder an seemingly unconscious Lahat. And lays them down on the deck. Somebody do something!
Winifred rushes over and checks vitals.
Lahat does not appear to be breathing. There appears to be no pulse that you can find, or a strong enough one that you can find.
Winifred just shakes her head.
Do something. And Valera looks at you with that look that says he doesn't care if it's pointless. Do something.
Right. All right. I'll cast Healing Balm on Lahat.
Go ahead and make cast a spell. And then just roll me a d6.
What is my modifier? It is +3. Okay, that's great. That works. And one die. Oh no, my good. It's a 1 again.
That's fine. That's honestly, that's fine. You cast the spell, and for a second, there's the flutter of a pulse beneath your finger. Go ahead and roll the d6 for how many hit points you heal. 1. Lahat, the entire world rushes back to you in a second. The voice is gone. And as you open your eyes, you can feel like a pressure on the side of your throat as you look and see Winifred's hand taking your pulse. And you feel yourself just claw back from the edge of the abyss you could feel yourself falling into.
Are you back? Are you back with us?
What happened?
You're back? Okay, good.
But
Good,
claps you
You're back.
hard on the back, Winifred, in congratulations. And then finally allows himself a minute to literally just sit down, like falls backwards onto his ass and just like...
What happened with Papa?
I just ran. I just grabbed Lahat and ran. We've lost him.
Why?
He's gone.
I think Lahat is still holding on to the the string, and so you can see that all 3 knots are gone.
Ooh. What happened, Lahat?
I tried to get Papa back to remind him of everything that Dorna warned us about to stop him, but he couldn't be swayed. The first time, and Dorna brought me back, but the second time, I don't think Papa is there anymore.
We need to leave. We need to leave. We need to leave. Captain, orders.
Which captain are you looking at for this?
Between the two of them, I think they can make one whole and healthy person right now. So looking between the two of them, honestly.
Valera pulls out his sword as he still sat there. Looks over at you, Bart, and stabs the sword down into the deck. This is your ship.
Yours is right over there.
It's not a happy place right now.
What do you mean it's not a happy place right now? And like Bart literally looks over to the other ship.
There's no life on deck.
We can either try to fight whatever we're fighting here, or we've been here a while. We've seen a couple of ships come through, and all of them get swallowed by that thing as he kind of gestures upwards. And I wonder if it's that thing that's the way out, if it's not just a Kraken, but some kind of divide. Like a veil between places.
Well,
James is going to be pissed. Let's go.
Oh, that's where we're at. All right, let's go.
Yep.
Okay, no other options. All
The
right,
lad
let's go into
pulls
the
the sword
Kraken.
out of the deck. I sail under your command, Bartholomew, and makes his way over to the headsman to rally what's left of the crew there. And you see the
I'm
sails
comfortable with adjacent.
unfurl over on the headsman as you prepare to set sail.
We're not leaving him.
Oh no, this is a race.
Papa, you watched as Valera grabbed Lahat and ran.
I just like
Lahat
to.
was no longer there.
I just like to taunt him as he runs off, and I'm just going to go. They were the first of many.
You stand here now in front of a bleeding, cracked monolith. You can feel the way that it hurts this city. The way that it hurts the being that you serve that so desperately wants to wake from its slumber. They are coming for you. Go with them. And for a moment it's silent. And then there's footsteps, many footsteps. And across the dark grey, black city that you stand within, bright red comes into view. And a man that you vaguely, perhaps, when you were Papa, you had met before, the thick Spanish accent, somebody who had once spoken to you about being a prophet, greets you. He has spoken to me. You are the one.
I suppose every captain needs its crew.
They are trying to leave. They have set their ships for sail, and they have the key. You will come with us. We will take it, and we will return here. And we shall set him awake.
We shall. The key is being carried by their cook, talented in the ways of the arcane. He's not to be taken lightly. I give them all a description of Winifred and her monkey.
Then you will join us aboard Death's Maw, and we shall take what belongs to the dreamer and return it to him.
The only way that we can be assured of our continued success is if everyone on that vessel is dead. They are stubborn and will fight.
And we
So
will fight and we will win.
let's begin.
You are taken back towards the ship with the shark's jaw figurehead that you now know to be called Death's Maw.
Ooh, I get a shit.
You got a ship and a Kraken.
Who says being evil doesn't pay?
So, all of you aboard the Dreamer set sail, and it's very strange sailing beneath the water. And you see the Spanish ship a little further out, not long after begin to do the same as the Kraken begins to circle. What would you like to do? I think we're going to jump into initiative here, just to make this easy, because I'm sure somebody is going to start fighting somebody. So, for the sake of ease, if everyone's good with it, I am just going to go with the initiative that we had before.
Mm-hmm.
Has somebody also got the Dreamer's ship sheets?
I've got that.
The evasion of the ship is 12.
So I'm gonna put it after Laheb and Bart's turn. The evasion.
All I'm saying is, Noir, this is ship combat. We're in my wheelhouse now.
The evasion of Death's Maw is 50.
I'm familiar with the boarding action.
And the Kraken's initiative is going to.
Is not needed.
It's actually above Papa's, but I'm going to put it after Papa's since Papa technically has control of it right now.
Is that supposed to be his other ship to make it even? Is that what you're trying to do here? Is that what you're trying to do?
Kraken.
So, I'm just going to assume that Valera's initiative, since he's got the highest one out of anyone here, is the same as his ship's initiative to make it easy. The headsman is the first to set sail, which shouldn't surprise any of you. You've all sailed on it, and its crew, even at this small size, know it well. And it was designed to be quick to set sail. This is how you've caught so many prizes in the past. And you watch as it begins to oddly drift kind of upwards and forwards. It sails fluttering as if it's in the wind, but also underwater. And it's a very strange sight. It's almost ghostly. It reminds you of tales that you'd heard of sailors who had fallen into the sea and seen ships beneath its surface. You then see the other ship, that dark hull, and the shark's impossibly large shark's jaw figurehead. Its sails unfurl too, and it starts making its way towards you. Laheb, you are first in the initiative.
Okay. And you said that we can see the Death's Maw, right?
You can, yeah. Also, I'm going to say for the purposes of this, because you've had some kind of time to sit here, I'll let all of you recover up to half your hit points as a kind of rest.
Amazing. Thank you.
Let me just double check, because I can't remember if if the rest gives you everything back. Here we go. You regain... Sorry, whatever your brawn is, plus 1d6. That's what you get of your health points. And you regain... so everybody roll 1d6 and add that to whatever your brawn is. That's how many hit points you get. Take that or go up to half, whichever is greater. And then you can also regain your harness value and 1d3 courage points.
Is this for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. 1d3.
Probably not quite for you, Papa, because you don't have rest in the same way as living
Are
creatures
you
do.
serious? Every time I roll a single d6, it comes up 1.
Okay, you know what?
You're cursed.
I have one reroll on my overlay. Belle, you can have that reroll. Because I feel bad that Roll20 has decided you are only allowed once.
Oh, it worked. Oh, it worked.
So bad because I'm like,
you recover courage equal to harness plus 1d3.
Wonderful.
like on the one hand, I'm like, come on, y'all got to do my friend Belle better than this. But on the other hand, I'm like, suffer, Winifred. Suffer.
We can see Death's Maw, correct?
You can. It's pretty far out right now, but you can see it.
Is it within cannon range?
Have a look here. I'm looking at the wrong sheets. You have I've got so many pages open. You have 4-pounders, right? So
Oh, this is for a spell. I just need to know whether it's within cannon range.
oh, then yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. In that case, we are now in ship combat, which means I can use a spell that I haven't been able to use before. And I think we're at a point where Laheb has now intimately danced with the arcane, with the eldritch arcane in particular. And I think they've just they've given in to it, not the same way that Papa has, but they are like, we need to get out of here, we need to do this. And so they are going to cast Tentacle Smash with 3 dice at Death's Maw. And that will hit. So what you see is basically this large tentacle come out of seemingly nowhere. I imagine that it comes from up top rather than from down below, because up top is theoretically where the real world is. Mm-hmm. And so you see this large tentacle kind of come out and hit Death's Maw on the deck, let's say, and it does 30 crushing damage to the ship.
Ooh, okay.
And at the same time, I think you see the tentacle on Laheb's neck kind of grow and like start to crawl onto their cheek as well.
You watch as this ship, as you study it, Laheb, you can see it's got 2 gun decks. One on the upper, one built into what would be the midships. And you watch as this tentacle comes down and just smashes across the side of that gun deck. You said it was 30 crushing damage?
Yes, it is.
There are a lot of numbers to keep track of for this ship. This is a galleon, by the way. It's a pretty damn big ship. It's gonna be. I can do math. There we go. It does not look pleasant at all. Papa, as you are aboard the deck of the ship, you feel this tentacle come down. You feel the impact on the ship, and it doesn't quite rock the same way because you're underwater, but you watch as several of the crew are just crushed to a pulp. A couple of cannons rip and splinter from the deck.
Just looks at it and goes, so Lahab is alive.
But you watch
Yep.
as a tentacle reaches down out of the depths above. And for a second, you might wonder if this is the Kraken. And then it crashes into the top deck of Death's Maw. And you watch as upon the side of Laheb's face, a dark bruise creeps its way up.
Right. That being said, all right. Okay, here we go. Is the Kraken in cannon range?
You can vaguely see it somewhere ahead. It's very difficult to judge the distance.
But the Death's Maw is in cannon range. Are they within broadside shot?
Not quite. You'd have to wait for them to get closer.
Okay. How many guns could I get on this ship given its current angle?
2.
Then I shall fire 2 cannons.
Okay. I'm just grabbing the ship combat rules because it's been a hot minute since we had some ship combat.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
Could I fire chain shot instead?
Yes.
I would like to fire chain shot.
And are you trying to target the sails?
Indeed.
Okay. In which case, are you making this shot yourself, or would you like the crew to make this shot?
I will make this shot.
Okay. In which case, you do take a penalty because you are trying to target a specific area of the ship. I'm just trying to see where it is in here.
Under chain shot in my inventory, it says I get to ignore the -5 modifier to hit the sails.
In which case, there is no, you don't take a penalty.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Now I can't remember. Do we use seafaring or do we use accuracy for ship cannons?
So it will be 1 second. Command of the guns. You make a brawn characteristic check.
Alright.
And then you get a bonus modifier from your ship's crew. Which is where are we? Sorry, my PDF reader is being awful every time I scroll. It scrolls like several pages. Bonus modifier to your ship's crew. Where are we? I can't find the modifier off the top of my head in this PDF, so I'm just going to give you a +5. Why not?
Okay. And boom to gasser.
It's going to hit.
Yeah.
So your cannons do how much damage?
Well, so chain shot doesn't actually have a damage value listed.
It's going to be the same as your single shot damage. So you fired one cannon with the chain shot. So that's going to be 15, but you specifically targeted the sails. Or you can, I can say you can probably have both if you're firing one and you've got a crewman firing on the other. So it's going to put you down to here. You don't take out the sails necessarily. It's not like Sea of Thieves style where everything just like the mast drops, but you definitely severely mess up a lot of the rigging as the chain shot wraps itself. It snaps ropes. It splinters some of these smaller sections of mast. So although the sails and the mast aren't down, parts of the sails are no longer really functional. They're definitely less effective.
So the intent is to slow them down. Intent met? Yeah.
And Papa, as you are aboard, you can see the splintering of some of the wood here, some of the sails dropping, the rigging snapping above your head.
Oh, and Bart's doing well as well.
It is now the turn of the Dreamer. So what is it that the ship is doing? What are your crew doing here? Are you just trying to make your way up and towards to keep up with Valera?
Yes. Basically, the whole thing is I'm trying to have the crew focus as much as they can on the actual, we'll go with air quotes, sailing part, to be able to try and keep pace with the headsman. Because it is a bigger ship, it is faster, it is, so trying to do everything we can in this kind of really weird situation of having wind but not having wind.
So you can basically use all of the ship's turn if you like to keep up with the headsman.
Yeah.
As it is making its way up towards the mass of writhing tentacles above you.
Okay.
Then we have Papa. It is your turn.
I'd like to take a moment to talk to my crew. I would just let them know that the fools that we are chasing are extraordinarily simple. They have a goal, but they're not quite sure how to accomplish that goal. And so this is where we win. I want everyone to take the description of Winifred and burn it into your mind. I don't care if you live, I don't care if you die, but what you will do is you will bring me the body of Winifred and the key she carries. That is our one mission. And with that, I would like to make our ship move as quickly as we can towards the Dreamer and prepare to board.
Okay. I will say that you spend your turn giving that order, then that is your action, essentially. As it's a bit difficult. This is a good ship. It's a galleon. It's pretty fast, but with having some of the rigging knocked out, it's not quite as quick at turning, and also you're in these very strange underwater conditions. But the crew seem used to this. They don't seem too phased by it. As you begin to gain on the Dreamer and on the headsman. It is also the Kraken's turn, and since you've given it no direction as of yet, Papa.
Do I have to do that on my turn as well? Like, is it either give an order to the ship or order to the Kraken?
The Kraken will do things whether you tell it to or not, but you have some influence in suggesting what it might do.
That speech was for everybody, even the Kraken. We all have one goal, and that's Winifred.
In which case then, but your question about whether or not you are in cannon range of the writhing mass of tentacles above you is very quickly answered.
Right.
And
Woo.
oh wow, they've got their own stat block. Jeez.
Yeah. I wanted that key, Winifred.
So you watch as from above, much like the spell that the Lahat casted, as a thick writhing tentacle lashes out with incredible speed from the water towards you and tries to swipe at the side of your ship as if it's trying to just throw you across the space that you're in. Let's see. Roll. Where's your modifier? Lord. That's going to be a 19. Does that hit the ship's evasion?
I think it does.
It does. The ship's evasion is 12.
Yep.
So you're... oh, it still hits even with that. So it's going to go for your hull. This is going to be a D6 vicious damage, then 2 crushing damage. So 3, and then how many is this? So you takes 5 points. Your hull takes 5 points of damage as this tentacle batters into the side of it, and it's not just the impact. You hear the wood on the Dreamer creak and the whole ship shifts. You then realize that this tentacle has wrapped itself around the bottom of the hull, and you start hearing a creak as the tentacle begins to close around it, squeezing the bottom of the hull. And then does it get to make 2 attacks?
Well, that's not good. No.
No,
It's
no,
going to go
just
in with
one attack.
another tentacle as another one reaches out and tries to wrap itself around your mast, your main mast. That'll do it with a 20. As your sails are also going to take, I need to roll another d6. So it's going to be 4 points of damage in total to your sails, as around the main mast, another tentacle wraps itself around, and you watch as it begins to squeeze, as if it's trying to rip the mast from the ship. And it's almost like pulling you into it now as well. Winifred.
Yeah. Okay. So I am on the deck of the ship. the Kraken has the hull of the ship, right? Am I within medium range of the Kraken?
I'm gonna say yeah, because I like to think that it's like literally yanking you towards it now as it's trying to rip the ship apart.
Right. Okay, I'd like to cast Sleep of the Deathless on it.
Okay.
So it needs to make a TN Abjure save.
Okay, and that spell can affect Mythos creatures, correct?
One non-living or Mythos target.
Okay. This is interesting because it has a negative modifier to its abjure. So, 12.
No, it fails. So, I've got to do my dice though too, huh?
You have to roll to cast, but if you successfully cast, we'll say it fails. I won't make it reroll.
Okay. It was a 12 for casting, so 16 does it. So that means the Kraken falls asleep until the end of their next turn.
You watch as it's trying to like rip the ship in two, and you can start to see the boards and the planks starting to buckle and bend. And as you unleash, what does it look like when you unleash the spell, Winifred?
She starts to actually hum like a quiet, very motherly kind of lullaby. And she literally sings to the Kraken.
All of you aboard the Dreamer hear Winifred begin to start humming, singing, soft, gentle, motherly tune. And it's so odd that the juxtaposition of that as the wood of the ship starts splintering and cracking, and what little crew you have scream, pray to gods that they may or may not keep. And then suddenly you watch as the tentacles go lax, slip away, releasing their grasp on your sails and your hull. And you watch as they float there, listlessly. And several other tentacles that you can spot from above just seem to float, gently coiling and writhing. And you see it kind of, you know, an octopi kind of splay out. You just got all their tentacles out, that. And from below, you can see its maw, this horrible beaked octopi-like maw that just hangs open slightly. Something that you'd all seen once before when it came up and swallowed your ship whole. How long is it asleep for?
Until the end of its next turn.
Okay. And that takes us back up to Valera and the Huntsman, and Valera is just going to keep pushing towards this creature, and you hear cannon fire begin to go off as the long nines on the Huntsman just open up and set a broadside straight into one of the tentacles, and you see this thick black liquid kind of erupt from where it gets wounded. And that brings us around to Death's Maw. You wanted to get up alongside the Dreamer, correct, Noir?
Yeah, we're gonna board.
Okay. I'm going to say that in this turn, on the ship's turn, it can get up alongside the Dreamer because the Dreamer's kind of been semi-fixed but dragged. So you have some time as they have to kind of right the ship. And you can, if you're on the Dreamer, you can now see Death's Maw beginning to come up alongside both of you just about in broadside range. But Lahat, it is your turn.
Lahat, seeing that Death's Maw is trying to get up close to us, or like is now basically right next to us, knows what's coming, and they are going to try and prevent it by crushing the ship. We're gonna try and cast Tentacle Smash one more time.
Go for it.
Hope that it does it. Please.
Are you
that
targeting
goes.
Anything in particular?
targeting its deck. Like, we're trying to basically like smash the ship in half, or to.
Do you want to go for the hull or the gun deck? Because both can achieve it depending on when they hit their 0 hit points.
Mhm.
The only difference is with the gun deck, if you're focusing that, which is kind of the primary, it will take out the guns on that deck once that deck is destroyed.
Let's do gun deck.
Cool. The top gun deck is not out yet, but several more cannons are ripped from their post. You can now see holes opening up in that top deck too, where the wood has just splintered and finally given way, as another tentacle, Bart and Winifred, you see overhead. For a second, looks like it's coming from the same place as the Kraken, but barely misses your ship as it goes into this precision strike and just crushes at Death's Maw. And it's strange because nobody is really thrown overboard by this. The ship reacts like it does, as if it's submerged, but it sways. And Papa, you see this close up, and you're close enough now to see Lahat as they cast this spell. Is there anything else you want to do? Lahat?
Yeah, I think Lahat is just, if we're close enough now, is just making eye contact with Papa.
You can see Papa, yeah.
Throughout this whole thing. And their face is serious, and there's no hint of that pity or that care that was there before anymore, because they know that Papa is gone. And now they're just angry.
But Death's Maw has come up beside you. You can see Valera making towards the kind of beak of this Kraken as it drifts there listlessly sleeping.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
You said Death's Maw is alongside of us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I see Papa?
You can, Papa, I assume that you are on the deck somewhere prominent and visible.
I believe that he would probably be in the crow's nest just to get the best view of everything. Because I need to make visual contact with one person, and I think I would be close enough to make that contact. So yeah, he's in the crow's nest.
You look around, and as you look up, Bart, you spot the terrible visage of Papa, chest split open, standing proud in the crow's nest, and eyes fixed on the ship, searching.
All right. Well, as my standard way of sailing my ship, every cannon's always loaded. So, full broadside.
Targeting anything particular, or just going for the default?
Maximum amount of damage.
Okay. So it's gonna do 30 as your broadside damage anyway. From your 4-pounders. So it just depends on whether or not you want to. Gun deck is always the default. Whether or not you want to target the hull or the sails instead and take the penalty.
So given the fact that we're basically having a gunfight in the water, I don't think sinking them is really kind of the thing that would happen in this given environment. So yeah, no, I'm just going for maximum amount of damage that I could possibly do.
Go for it. Go ahead and make the same roll as last time. I'm going to give you the same modifier for the crew.
Okay.
I'm sure I've made that modifier way too big, but we're here now.
We are here now.
21. That will hit their evasion. So that's going to be... Ooh. Yeah, their top gun deck looks rough. It looks rough. Several men are just shot overboard from the force of the cannons. Holes begin to open up, wood splinters. Noir, you can hear the chaos beneath you as, you hear the second of the mast splinters a bit, where one of the cannibals just catches the edge of it somewhere below. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn, Bart?
Try and like, I don't know how to do. Like, I don't know how to best explain that whole thing of where like you look at somebody to try and see where they're looking, kind of thing.
Papa, am I right in thinking you're looking for Winifred?
So I want to make the argument that I think that he got a bead on Winifred the second that the Kraken went to sleep, because he knows out of everybody on the ship, the only person that could do that other than him is Winifred.
Okay. Do you think it would be obvious to Bart that you're like fixated on Winifred?
He's
Would
his
you like
savvy.
Bart to roll for it?
His savvy is low, so it's pretty obvious where he's looking. Yeah.
I imagine like he's like properly like full turned, and it's not like he's like looking out of the corner of his eye. He's like full on, like looking over the side.
Like
of
the eyes are already starting to glow. Like we already know what he's about to do next.
You spot Papa, and you can see the glowing behind the blackness. And as you follow his eye line, Winifred, where are you standing on the ship?
Oh, probably on the main deck, but not trying to hide or anything. She's probably near the captain's quarters, like kind of near where the helm
Maybe
would
that
be,
like
but on
that
the main
top deck where you've got the wheel like at the
Sure,
side there,
yeah.
where you've got like a good vantage point.
Sure.
You follow the eye line, and it's right at Winifred, who's standing probably not very far from you.
Would you say there's enough movement or whatever for me to literally stand in between, i.e., like cutting off his gaze to her?
You're not going to be able to cut off his line of sight because he's got height on you.
Right, but it's that whole like I see that.
But Bart can certainly make an attempt to shield Winifred.
It's not so much of a like shielding aspect of I see what you're looking at kind of thing.
Yeah, you can do that. You can go over and stand there and
You know that hyper, you know, like when they're looking through the sniper scope and the dude looks back at them through it kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
yeah, you can do that. You can move to kind of block
Yeah.
Papa's sight. You're not really blocking his sight.
No,
Like, in the
but it's
obvious,
that.
like I know where you're looking. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
do that. It is the dreamer's turn next. What is the dreamer going to do?
Split between reloading cannons and continuing to keep the ship going.
Okay, so you continue on towards the sleeping Kraken, heading towards its maw, where Valera is making some headway there. And the cannons have been reloaded. Which brings us to you, Papa.
Yeah, the eyes go bright, and this time, sharpened light is going to take a different form. This time, the light is going to manifest as the colonel he killed back on that island, reaching out for Winifred and grabbing her neck and burning her when it does so.
Make your attack roll.
Here we go.
16.
Yep, that is enough.
Am I providing any form of light cover as a fleshy meat bag?
I mean, you can, but you'll also take damage.
I'm going to nudge and turn that into a 17. The 17 hit your evasion.
Oh yes, it does. You didn't have to nudge at all.
All right. So that is 8 damage.
Sure is.
You
Okay.
feel the burning pain around your throat, Winifred.
And I am
Yeah.
just going to yell at the crew. Live or die, it doesn't matter. Bring me her body.
And you watch as the crew beneath you, Papa, begin to prepare for a boarding action.
It's not even about the key anymore.
It would be the Kraken's turn, but the Kraken is asleep.
Sleep.
Although Winifred, as you recover from that burning sensation and you look
Yeah.
up, it interrupting your song almost. You watch as one of the tentacles flickers as it begins to wake.
Bart, real quick. Asleep or awake? Should we be asleep or awake?
Asleep.
Asleep? Okay. I put my energy into casting Sleep of the Deathless again.
Okay, go ahead and spend the courage you want to
Yes.
cast spell.
3 dice. No, magic. There we go. How many dice? 3. And my modifier is 3. Yes, that makes it. Oh my gosh, it's a 12.
Oh, by one!
Make it-
So it has to. It makes another abjure save, right? Which is 11, which is
Yes, it
not
does.
enough.
Yes. Okay. So it falls
As you
asleep
watch the
until its next
tentacles
turn.
begin to flicker into life again, and the huge glassy eyes on the side of its bulbous face kind of flicker, and you can see the sentience in the eyes regaining itself as you, through a throat that is burned, and it would be painful for you, Winifred, to continue singing.
Yeah.
As the heat penetrated through, and your vocal cords are sore and burned.
Yep. Keep
But
on
you
going
keep
though.
singing, and you watch as its huge glassy eyes go dull again as it slips into a slumber once more, and the tentacles that had just begun to flick back to life settle. I just want to point out this Kraken stats are like fucking badass. And
Oh,
you're just
yeah.
putting it
Is
to
there
sleep, and I'm
nothing
so
I can
no.
do to
I'm so
help
here
it
for
wake
it.
up?
I am so here for it. And that takes us up to Valera's turn. And for the sake of ease, because we've got a lot of NPCs and things going on here, he is now making it right up to the Kraken's maw. This kind of half hanging, open maw. And then it is the turn of Death's maw. And you watch from above Noir as ropes with hooks on get thrown over the side, and they land not far from you on the Dreamer as ships are tugged together and gangplanks are dropped, and suddenly there are people aboard the Dreamer and there is boarding action. There is a whole bunch of stuff that we can do that's about crew versus crew that's really great in the rules, but I'm not gonna like super detail it out here because both of the crew sizes are not particularly large either way. So that is all kind of background fighting that's going on. We're just gonna focus in on the interesting folks here. Lahat, you see the gangplanks go down, people board, the yell of fighting once again. It's been a while since the last time that you fought was another Spanish ship that had chased you.
Yeah, and I think Lahat has seen Papa cast that spell on Winifred and heard probably the order to find Winnie's body. And so Lahat is just going to yell out in Winifred's direction, "Go and hide. Do not let them see you." And then is going to try and cast Tentacle Smash, specifically focusing on the mast so that it breaks and Papa like falls. So to give Winifred some time where Papa is maybe like distracted and can't like keep eyes on her so that she can go hide.
Okay, go ahead, cast your spell.
Alright.
I'm gonna add 5 to your casting number here, just because obviously you're targeting a specific bit of the ship, and I feel like that's kind of fair because any other attack has like a bump up. If you would have rolled more dice doing that, feel free to roll.
Can I?
Because you rolled really quick before I said it, so yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you wanted to, no, you're good. If you wanted to add another, if you would have
Yeah,
rolled
I'm gonna
4
do
for
that.
roll
I'm gonna
another
keep.
D6.
I'll just keep, for the sake of being fair, I'll keep whatever I rolled and just add a d6 to it.
Yeah.
So it would normally my casting number is 15 plus 5 is 20. So
So this will make it, yeah.
barely, but yes.
How much damage does that do?
30 damage, and we're going specifically for the mast.
It's as much as a broadside.
Is a big tentacle coming out of the sky once again, and I think this time, even though Lahat doesn't have to do any sort of motion in order to cast the spell, I think they're just so like in it, and like they're just kind of so overwhelmed, and they want to make a point to Papa that like they will actually like do a motion of like sweeping their arms as the tentacle goes.
I like to think you can feel it as you sweep your arms across. You're so connected with that spell in that moment that you can feel the water rushing past your hands. It rushes past the tentacle. You can feel the moment that it hits against that main mast that you're in, Papa, and the way the like almost feel your hands wrapping, as if you can feel the wood of the mast there between your fingers as the tentacle snaps the mast in two. And Papa, it falls backwards towards the back of the ship, impacts hard against like the back end, and you come sprawling out across the deck. I'm going to say that you take 4 points of damage, and just for like just the impact. It's not enough.
Is there any chance like he could try and grab a rope or something?
You probably can. You're still going to take some damage from it though. Like a giant ass tentacle just like smack downs you into the deck of the ship. You are now kind of on that top main deck, picking yourself up. Maybe, that's the reason that you didn't get thrown off the ship itself, was like being able to wrap your hand around some of the rigging and just hold on. Next then, Bart, we're back to you, and you watch as Lahat once again summons this tentacle and just snaps the mast of this other ship in two like a matchstick.
If we went all hands to sail, right, would we be able to break away from Death's Maw? Or are we officially locked in with this ship?
You're kind of locked in with the ship for now.
All right, then. If that's the case, since they decided to throw boarding hooks and whatnot, they're obviously right alongside us, point blank range. Well,
like, are they not on the other ship yet?
Yeah, they've started to board.
But I'm going to get one more good one in before it's full on hand to hand.
Oh, you're just going for it, even though they're already bought. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only target their gun deck here.
That's
you've got
perfectly
no angle
fine.
to target anything lower.
That's perfectly fine.
To be fair, Popeye is still on the other ship. I
That
feel
is a
like
true
that's
statement
the
as
important
well.
part.
See, what I'm wondering is because everybody should be attacking one person. So I was under the assumption that your crew would have to protect that one person.
No.
I'm kind of narratively playing the crew v crew stuff, because otherwise we'll get bogged down into like doing several other roles alongside this. But yeah, they're basically, at the minute, they're trying to get on board the ship, because none of the rest of the crew are like, let's go protect Winifred, because no one's given them that order. They're just, let's repel the boarders.
Gotcha.
But you can get like one more broadside in here, Kurt, if you want. So
yes.
Go ahead and make the roll.
Oh, it's happening.
That'll do it.
I would, at this time, like to increase the damage to 2 on one of the cannons by 2. Add 2 to the damage when using cannons from Born Powder Monkey.
So that is. I could do that. Yeah, you let off one more broadside just in that moment, as like the distance between the ships closes, and you splinter all across the top of the gun deck. It is peppered with holes and broken wood and giant wooden splinter shards, and does a bit to knock back some of the boarders who are currently getting on. But once that's done, you hear the clank as the railings hit, and then there are people on the deck, all making their way up towards where the wheel is, where Winifred is standing. It is then the Dreamer's turn, and for the sake of this, we're going to say that both of your ships are kind of still moving in tandem, but the Dreamer is going to use its action to try and repel the boarding. So we are over to Papa.
Okay. Gonna get up, collect myself. believe I'm gonna have to kill her a third time. Just gets up, gets over to the boarding area, and I'd assume I still should be able to relatively spot where Winifred is, as she hasn't had the chance to run yet.
Yeah.
Then the spectral is gonna come out and reach out again. Let's go ahead and do this. That hits the casting number, and this is the attack. 25 to hit.
Another 8.
That's like
Yep.
double my evasion.
Jesus,
I'm sorry.
That plus
Double my
10, that's
evasion.
what gets it. That's a lot.
You know what? In reality,
spell might have actually been nerfed a little bit, but we're playing with the old version of some of these spells. So
in his defense, you made him what he is.
I'll get this. It is very nerfed.
You take another 8 burning damage, Winifred, as this spectral image of the captain reaches out again and puts both of her hands around your throat, and that burning sensation sets in until she vanishes.
And then I'm just gonna slowly make my way over to her to try and grab the key.
Okay.
Winifred falls.
No. You will watch as Papa steps aboard the Dreamer, and there's a bright flash and a spectral image. And
Singing stops.
Winifred's singing stops. That soft, comforting sound atop all of the noise of battle is suddenly absent. And when you turn to look, Winifred is unconscious on the deck of the ship. You are not dead yet, though. Don't worry.
If I see Winifred drop, I'm just yelling the command, "Break me her body!"
It would be the Kraken's turn, but it's asleep. And you do see past this when the singing stops. Again, the same thing. There's a sentience that begins to come back to its eyes as the tentacles kind of start to flicker back into awakeness again. Winifred, it is your turn.
I would like Kiki to take the key.
Don't make me kill
You know
her.
what? Kiki has been after
The key.
So I will say that yes, on your turn, the Kiki howls. You suddenly hear this screeching, howling sound as Kiki goes into a panic at Winifred falling unconscious. And this monkey desperately, hitting you on the chest, rubbing her face up against you, screaming in your face, the way she sometimes does early in the morning to wake you up, to let her know that she would actually like some breakfast. And when there is no response, it is this gut-wrenching scream from an animal who fears for the person it loves the most. And then she goes to your sleeve and starts scratching and digging at the key and clasps it in her hands and just sits on your chest screaming. You can still be picked up. You have 2 rounds for somebody to stabilize you, basically.
Okay.
So that brings us on to...
Really quick, am I able to see that the monkey grabbed the key?
Probably not, because there's now probably people rushing there, right? Crew are rushing there, your crew are rushing there. So for a minute, there's a lot of chaos happening. The headsman is still making headway, and it's right up to the maw now of this not so longer sleeping Kraken. we're going to say that the Deathsmaw turn is your crew kind of getting up and trying to get to Winifred's body, and that brings us back to Lahab.
Lahab is going to yell out, "Winifred, no!" and like run towards her body and try and stabilize her.
You get there and as soon as you come over, Kiki is screaming at you, clutching the key in her hands and screaming at you, slapping on top of Winifred's chest as if trying to tell you something is wrong. You can go ahead and make me say here, revitalize the characters. Here we go. You can make a studies test. Yeah, go ahead and make me a studies test.
All right. 15.
That will be enough as you move over and Kiki jumps off of Winifred's body and scrambles away somewhere. You look down and you can see this horrible burn across Winifred's throat. How do you revitalize Winifred? What do you do to bring her back?
I think in the amount of time that Lahab has spent studying like magic, their focus has always been on sort of like their interest has always been in eldritch magics, but that doesn't mean that they haven't read up on some other stuff, and so they know like maybe some like very, very basic more medicine than magic, really, ways of revitalizing somebody who has just gone down. So I think they're just kind of going through in their head like, okay, remember, okay, I think it was in that passage and it said that thing, and like just very panicked trying to recreate what they've read.
I imagine that it's like a short phrase that wasn't really a spell, but was more of a like a kind of folk spell that may or may not work, depending. And you've never tried it, but it comes to mind as you're panicking and you speak the words, and just the amount of emotion that you've put into spells, into that last one, just that lingering essence of magic is just enough to bring Winifred back around as the words take hold. Winifred, because you are in combat, you won't be able to take any actions for your next turn. So anything direct. I'll let you move and kind of get away, but you won't be able to physically do anything as you're kind of like coming back to your senses. But after that, you're basically back in.
All right.
In which case, does it tell me how much? I'm going to say that you can come back with 5 hit points. That feels
wonderful.
appropriate. Because of Lahab has a background of knowing magic, so I don't see why this wouldn't give you a little bit of pep.
Great.
But you are awake. You no longer feel the key, and you don't know where Kiki is.
Thank you.
You're not dying yet. Not on my watch.
Two of you do see, though, a lot of the men in the red coats who have made their way up here are now surrounding you. But
Do I see Winifred going down?
you do, and you see Lahab rush over, and then Winifred sitting up.
Do I see Papa now on my ship?
Yeah, you do.
Cool. Nobody fucks with Mama. Now it's kind of personal. So Bart is literally like making his way directly to Papa, drawing his cutlass and just muttering the same thing over and over and over. I will kill the unkillable.
Go ahead, make your attack.
I will. I was gonna say, if not, I have one nudge, and I would use that nudge.
15.
Yeah, 15 hit.
Mm-hmm.
What's your damage?
So, I think it's so type in the 1d6, right?
What does it say on your sword?
It says
Have a-
D6.
Oh yeah, 1d6. It's 5 points of damage that you take, Mar.
I'm trying to, for lack of a better term, keep his attention and lock him in combat, for lack of a better term.
So Bart swings across at you and you feel the sword slash against your flesh once again. Then we have, okay, so the Dreamer crew are going to start fighting off some of the guys who are locked around you as they become locked in combat. But it is Papa's turn.
He's just going to look at Bart and say, why don't you go back to your normal state? And I'm going to poke him on the forehead and cast Nightmarish Visions. And it's going to look a little something like this. Wow, that's exactly the casting number, actually. So you need to make a TN Abjuration save.
Okay.
A 15, or you're going to be terrified until the end of your next turn.
I have 14.
Yeah, so he just goes, why don't you go back to your normal state of being afraid?
What vision do you implant in Bart's mind?
I'm gonna have him do what Papa always does. I'm gonna tell Bart exactly how he's going to die, and he's going to see himself fighting on this deck, and then he's going to see that same specter that's been reaching out for Winifred, but he's going to see it reach into his heart, reach into his chest to pull out his heart and burn it.
And this is what you see, Bart, as Papa taps you just on the forehead, just gently. And suddenly, you're overcome with what feels like a premonition of a woman dressed in a British uniform, screaming, her face contorted in pain, and as she moves towards you, you can see the entire back of her uniform is burned into her skin. As this twisted face, she opens up her mouth and screams with a sound like fire, reaches into your chest, pulls your heart out and burns it to ash in front of your face, and you are now terrified till the end of your next turn.
Can I at all burn a courage or anything like that to try and negate the fear effect, or no?
Nope.
Damn.
You are terrified, so your evasion score is now reduced to 12 until the end of your next turn.
That's an improvement.
You cannot do anything on your next turn except take a single move action to crawl somewhere. So you can
Okay.
And then after I do that, I would like very much to use the chaos of everything that's happening to oh no, you froze.
Hello.
There we go.
I'm sorry, my Zoom crashed then.
We back, baby.
I'm Virginia.
All right.
Okay.
So I just like to use now that the main person that's been scoping me is their mind is elsewhere. I'd like to use the chaos of the situation to try and slip into their gun deck, please.
I'll let you do that.
Okay. Papa's about to rig this entire ship to blow on his next turn.
The Kraken is now awake.
Yep.
And if it's got no direction,
I hope it remembers
go
its
ahead
last direction.
Go and make me a savvy test, Papa, to see if you slip away unnoticed, because then I'll make folks who are around roll to see if they notice you going down there.
Yes.
While I have a look at what the Kraken is doing.
I'm gonna nudge it to 15.
Okay. If everybody who is, apart from Bart, really, or actually, really only be Laheb. Laheb, go ahead and make me a savvy test to see if you notice Papa trying to slip below the gun deck.
10?
Nope, you don't see.
Yes.
All you know is that Papa was on the deck somewhere, and now he isn't. But what you do see is Bart on his knees, with a look of horror on his face. And before you have time to even really think about that, you hear a horrible sound that feels like it's going to burst your eardrums as the Kraken's maw opens and a terrible mind-melting screech is unleashed. And you watch as several crew members around you, your crew, some of Papa's crew, the sound, they have a look of sheer horror on their face before they seem to just drop dead in front of you. And that takes us to, sorry, I've lost where we were in the initiative order now. That was the Kraken's turn. So Winifred, it's your turn. There are people advancing on you now, trying to grab at you. What would you like to do? You can really only move away, but it's a question of how does Winifred deal with this? Well, you can choose not to if you wish. You can choose to try and stand your ground.
She stands her ground.
Okay. In which case,
she has her since falling, and once she came back, she's got her ladle in hand.
Just go ahead and make me a brawn test. I'm going to make this a contested roll to see if anyone actually manages to grab hold of you. So this is not so much you taking an action, but because you're choosing to stay. I will give you a +1 modifier because you're standing your ground rather than trying to evade by running.
A whole 12. Oh,
17. You smack a few hands off you with the ladle until someone comes up behind and grabs you by the shoulders and is trying to pull you back down the stairs. You see the headsman up ahead. As the maw opens, the headsman disappears. I'm going to make another test for the crew who are grabbing you. There's what looks like a woman behind you who's trying to pull you down the stairs. There's another few people try to block, cut off between you and Laheb. That's terrible. They don't quite manage it. You manage to pull that. She's having trouble forcing you down these steps.
She's kicking. Winifred's kicking, and she's putting up a pretty good fight.
Laheb, it's your turn. As you have got all of these people around you now, some your crew, some of Papa's crew, and you can see Winifred being dragged off down the stairs.
Laheb is going to try and muscle their way through the crowd to get to Winifred and then attack the person who is currently grabbing Winnie.
Okay, go ahead. Make me a... What are you attacking with? Are you just going like the fisticuffs or...
I think I'm going to go with my Spadroon. So we're going to go with the melee.
Yep, go for it.
And hope to dear God it works. 20!
Nice.
That does 3 damage.
So you, because you're fighting crew, I'm going to narratively say this of there's a couple of people, you push one guy and he goes over the side of the railing. You elbow your way through a few more, and then you take the Spadroon and you slam it straight into the top shoulder of the woman behind Winifred, trying to pull. And as you pull out, she stumbles backwards down the stairs, and there's a horrible crunch somewhere behind you, Winifred. And the two of you are back together again. But You can choose if you wish to move on this turn, or you can choose to stay where you are, as finally the vision will leave you soon. But I would say that you probably vaguely make out where Papa has gone, but you're not able to really vocalize that at all. But if you wish to crawl towards the lower decks, you can. Because you won't be free from the vision until the end of this turn.
I would probably do my best to just try and stand my ground more so than anything. Like, as I'm trying to just kind of like, I know Papa did something to me, but I can't ignore it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I would probably more just try and stand my ground, regain my bearings before I did something else.
So I imagine that as you're watching this horrible image in front of you, what breaks it and allows that to be over at the end of this turn is just a sheer force of will, of like picking yourself back up off your knees, of trying to accept that the vision, like, of what you're seeing, but just pushing through it. And as soon as you manage to stand back up and you can feel the railings under your fingers again, the vision breaks and the specter is gone. So you are back to everything is normal on your next turn. However, it is the Dreamer Crew's turn, and I'm going to make a quick roll for them. They start fighting off a lot of the boarders. A couple go overboard, and they start trying to push them back, cornering them, breaking up the kind of large mass that they had assembled. But it is now Papa's turn.
All right, so Papa takes a quick detour to his room, grabs some fabric and his lantern, and then he goes to the gun deck where they have all their powder, and he makes a wick, and then he lights it, and he's just going to slowly start going up the stairs, getting ready to leave and go back onto his ship, as he has successfully sabotaged this ship and is ready to just watch it go.
You do not, for the sake of coolness, I'm going to let you do that. You set the fuse, and we're going to narrative that this is going to be a long fuse, right? Because it's got to be a long burn to give him some kind of chance, right? But it starts burning, and you've got to have enough to make your dramatic villain walk all the way up and back to the ship, right? And everyone's got to wonder why you're suddenly leaving. But you all see this as Papa.
Also, I'm carrying one of my goats.
Okay. As Papa walks up carrying a goat, seemingly uncaring about what's going on, and starts to make his way back over to the Death's Maw. And the Kraken's tentacles flicker once again, as it's going to go in for another hit now that you are closer. That'll do it. I don't know why I'm bothering to roll for the Kraken at this point. Because I don't think it can miss.
Our evasion for the ship is like 12. I really don't think it can miss.
It physically can't. So that's going to be 5 points of damage to your hull as another tentacle wraps around and basically just tries to rip. And it does. It rips a chunk of the hull out. And then we are over to Winifred. It's your turn. As you're now free from the assailants who was trying to grab onto you, you can see Papa just over there making his way back curiously to his ship with a goat. It's not the goat that's weird, it's the fact that he's going over to his ship. I imagine like Papa walking around with a goat's probably the most normal thing.
Right.
I mean, to be
especially
fair,
since-
he is trying to kind of lay low so nobody gets a hint that he did some shit. But yeah,
But you said you were carrying a goat, so like
That is
I'm
true.
sorry,
Like-
you're a little bit sus.
Yeah,
And
right.
he
Like
was
it's the whole thing of like,
screaming about
wait a
hitting
minute,
My body. So...
you wanted a goat?
I was after the goat the whole time. No, I'm kidding.
What do you like to do, Winifred?
Yeah. That's peculiar. Can I cast Sleep with the Deathless on Papa?
Yes.
Oh wait, I'm a mythos.
You're a
Yeah.
non-living creature. You're non-living.
That is fair.
That is real.
You are both corrupted by the mythos and dead.
All right.
And very dead.
So what am I rolling here?
You'll be making a target 16 abjure.
Yes.
Oh, it's abjure. Oh, okay.
Yes.
No,
I
you have this spell.
Cast a spell.
I don't know what TN means.
Number.
Oh, target number. Okay, yeah.
Target number.
It's the same thing as like a DC.
Oh, okay, and I nudge it.
Spell fails, Winifred.
No. Well, I point him out to Lahib. I say Papa's leaving.
Okay, you no longer
And
see.
I say louder, Papa's leaving, as loud as I can.
Okay, you can no longer see the headsman. It was swallowed by the Kraken's maw.
Right.
The Death's Maw crew are going to do what they're doing, so let's just go over to you, Laheb, as you hear the call out from Winifred that Papa is leaving, and you spot Papa crossing the gangplank holding a goat, and some of the Death's Maw crew start to retreat back too. And you hear a call from below. Fire! Fire!
Oh no. I think Laheb's first thought is to make sure that Papa does not leave. And so Laheb is going to like run over to Papa and like try and tackle him, essentially.
Go ahead. It's going to be an opposed melee test, I think, for this one. Well, not opposed really, because Papa's carrying a goat actually. So, this
But
is
I
going to be
use
based on
brawn?
your. It's not going to be opposed. You're carrying a goat. There's no way you can avoid the tackle. You chose the goat, Noir. So, Laheb, just go and
punishing me for this
Goat is
goat.
MVP. I rolled a 13.
does that meet your evasion?
Yeah.
It beats it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Papa, you drop the goat, which goes running around the deck of the Death's Maw as Laheb pins you to the floor.
What have you done below deck?
Nothing.
And I think like Laheb is gonna take their spadroon and like hold it up to Papa's throat.
Oh, you
I am-
intend to stab me again?
I am not afraid to take your life. Not anymore.
That is
I
one
think-
point. Papa, as
Mhm.
Spiderweb is at your neck, you can feel this is poisoned, right? So you can
Yeah.
feel the kind of acrid feeling across the skin. Go ahead and take a point of damage for me, because you are poisoned.
Okay.
I knew there was something I was forgetting.
He's just gonna look at you and go. And I think that I've demonstrated that I have no problem ending the life of you and your friends as well. So what does that mean?
It means that one of us dies. And I don't think I have an action to attack Papa with.
If
this
you want
turn,
to, I'll
so-
let you.
I do.
I'm also
want to.
well aware that we're running over quite a bit right now.
Yes, I do
Apologize.
want to. So I'm gonna make that melee test.
Go for it.
And I hit.
Hey, it's,
That
Papa's
That
pretty low on
is-
hit points, right, Noir?
yeah, I'm at 5.
that's it then, because if we're including the poison damage, it's 6. Or sorry, 7.
I want the both of you to describe this really dramatic death.
So I think it's Laheb is on top of Papa, like, and like pinning him to the ground with a spadroon against his neck. And I think as Papa says, like, then what does this mean? Laheb just says, then one of us dies. And in that moment, like, goes to to slice Papa's neck. And I'll give you a moment to react before it goes through.
I think the attack just goes through, and he looks at you and he goes, "In this form or another, I'll return. This means nothing." And then the eyes just go back to white.
They go back to Papa, and beneath you is just Papa, and he is gone. But Papa, you are not. You feel your consciousness separate from your body and dissipate into the water around you. You are sure Cthulhu is not done with your soul yet. But for the rest of you, you start hearing cries and shouts that somebody has set a fuse to the gunpowder store.
Oh, come on, tell me it goes off.
And as
Tell
the
me it goes
Kraken
off.
pulls you in with the tentacle into its maw, just as it gets there, you are all rocked by a loud explosion. Blackness, darkness, your ears ringing, and then suddenly it's so bright, brighter than you have ever seen it. The smell of smoke and gunpowder fills the air, and you are floating listlessly in the water, surrounded by floating hunks of wood and thick, globulous blubber and a dark, inky substance that makes the water look black. And calling out from you, there's a glint not too far in the distance that, as it flashes across your face, kind of blinds you still as you get used to the sunlight again, is the headsman and Captain Valera looking down at you through a spyglass. And Winifred, you see, attached to a small crate, screaming her face off, is key in one hand.
Yeah, that's my girl.
And that is how we end our story. Not quite over yet, but
I'll get you
over for
motherfuckers
now,
next time.
as Papa's consciousness exists somewhere in the ether that is the sunken city of Relay. And the Kraken might be gone, but who knows what other avatars Cthulhu has beneath the waves. And the cult of the Dreaming Water are not gone either. But you currently have the key. And your ship and your captain back. And perhaps some consequences to deal with later down the line with Jennings. But for now, this chapter of our story is done. I will make my talking quick, folks, because I know that we have overrun a little bit, but thank you for being cool and sticking around. First things first, please go check out this wonderful cast. Let's go say hi to them. Noir, we hadn't planned for you to become the big bad, but during that little break, we had a quick discussion, and I'm so happy that you were like all up for becoming the big bad, because
I really did try my hardest to kill you.
You're the first player I'd ever had that's become the big bad. I've been waiting for this moment as a GM,
That's
and like
amazing.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I hope you got out of it what you'd like for Papa.
Oh, I love that. I hope y'all feel more badass for having beat me.
But did we though?
I'm gonna put it on my resume.
Sorry. I thought we were doing outros. My bad.
Yeah, no, we're doing outros. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Really quick. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm trying to do more streaming, so please check out my Twitch channel. And I just want to say that cult was trash. I did all that by myself. Cthulhu needs to get better cults.
Or maybe when Papa's consciousness finds another physical form to manifest in, you can start a better one.
We're going to start the ultimate cult. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this was amazing. I truly enjoyed playing with all of y'all. This has been just such a blast, and I hope that we do this again sometime. Yeah. That's me.
Next on my screen, we have Lahat getting in that big bag kill.
Hello. Yes, I am so hyped that I got to kill Papa Sassel, especially given that I died literally twice to Papa Sassel. So, you know what? It's worth it. I'm here for it. I'm happy that worked out the way it did. I was fully expecting myself to die, so that was a lot. Um, Hello, everyone. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I'm a TTRPG performer. If you like what I do, I am on various other channels and podcasts and whatnot, so you should follow me on Twitter at @hshahid_, where I will be announcing all of the different projects I'm a part of. Real quick, tomorrow, actually, there is another episode of the on Transplanter RPG's channel of the Hounds of Mercy versus Mercy's 7 Evil Exes and all of Undake, where we are going around all of Undake fighting Mercy's Evil Exes. It's going to be super fun. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so I would love to see you there.
Please go and check everything out these folks are talking about. Belle, how you doing? How was this for you?
This was incredible. I was fully expecting to die too, and I did. So that's fun. It really is fun. This was an incredible cast of people, and oh my God, Virginia, you're such a great storyteller. I really get totally sucked into everything that you're weaving for us. It's just, I've had such a good time, and this has only been 8 episodes, but it's felt like more and bigger, and this has been so fulfilling. So I played Winifred. I had a great time. I am also found everywhere at Belshare, Twitter, Instagram. I'm now on TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing. But as for Twitch stuff, you can find me on Would Be Heroes, which is Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's myself and some Canadians playing Greyhawk D&D style. So it's a lot of fun, and some wild stuff is happening over there too.
And last but definitely not least, Kurt, how was this for you, friend?
This was fucking amazing. And like, yes, it really truly 100% was. I am so happy to have been a part of this. I am so happy to have gotten to play this. And yes, as Hemna pointed out, I'm the only one who didn't die. I'm the only one who didn't die. Not
magic
once.
Will get you killed.
That's right. I used to say, kids, don't mess with magic. It'll mess you up. You'll die.
Bart's never going to let any of them live this down, ever.
No, ever. As for what you can find me doing, I'm not really doing much at the moment because like October's kind of a crazy month. I always have a lot of shit going on during October. But that being said, pretty soon, not this week, but starting next week, I will probably hopefully be getting back into a regular streaming schedule with playing spooky games and spooky stuff and painting myself up all pretty like. But yeah, past that, yeah, no, it's just really great to be here. These are all wonderful people. Go find support and do all the great and wonderful things to do to make these people awesome and stuff. Yes, that. Words gone.
Before I do final plugs for BGC, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has come along to watch, whether you've been here from the start or you've dropped in halfway through. We're happy to have you. This entire series will be up on the YouTube channel. If you're watching from the YouTube, hi, welcome. You've made it to the end. Thank you. So you can go and check out anything that you've missed if you want to see how they got themselves into utter chaos in the first place. And thank you to this wonderful cast for all of you for letting me GM for you and letting me tell the story with you. And I just hope that you've had a blast and that this has been a fun, fulfilling story. And I hope that maybe with how it ended, we get to pick this up again one day.
Oh
somewhere.
my gosh.
Because I don't like ever believing any of my campaigns are ever really fully over because I get attached to characters. So thank you for coming along and playing with me and entertaining all these wonderful folks who are watching. If you want to be even more entertained by Black Cats Gaming, you should head over to the Black Cats Gaming shop right now, pick up your copy of the Spy Game. You want D&D, but you want modern day international espionage instead of fantasy? That's for you. Play all of your favorite spy archetypes. It's a whole ton of fun. And you can find some of my writing in there too, because I wrote a Filipino spy agency who low-key my favorite, but maybe I'm biased. You can also go and check out Dreams, Nightmares, and Half-Remembered Meetings, as well as The Plays the Thing over on DM's Guild for your fantasy D&D needs. They're great products. Please go check them out. And if you need a quick one-sheet RPG and you want to have some fun with some friends, go check out The Adventures of the Takeaway Delivery Drivers, where you play food delivery couriers who must survive all manner of monsters and terrible things happening in order to get that money and deliver your food. It's a little like one-sheet RPG that's great, and Sam did all the layout and writing for it, and it just looks fantastic. So please go check that out. Make sure you come back here. I believe, I can't remember when Hexcrawler's back, but I know Hexcrawler's is back. That's on a Wednesday, right, Noir?
Yes,
Wednesday.
That is when we're coming back, and it's going to be awesome.
It's coming back at some point, so keep an eye out for that. It's a spy game campaign.
It is this Wednesday.
Team Oppenheimer,
Wednesday.
wave your flags. Team
There we go.
Oppenheimer, wave your flags.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, team. I kind of went heel in that cave too. I promise I'm not a bad guy.
So come and check that out if you want to see some of the spy game happening. If you want to see some other TTRPG stuff here, on Thursdays we are back with our final season of After the Fire. The season opener was last week. I believe that it's Monday, so today that the YouTube upload goes up. So if you missed it, go check it out. But needless to say, things are getting juicy, and you are not going to miss what's going to be happening this season. And also, come wave your Team Mara flags in the chat. Yeah, I'm using this platform to be biased about my character. She's great. Check that out. And last but not least, if you want to play Cursed Captains of Cthulhu yourself, there is a quick start available, and you can go sign up for late pledges right now to get your copy of, sign up to be emailed for when late pledges go live, so that you can grab your copy and you too can take out a group of wonderful pirates out on the waves to see what chaos you can put them in. But otherwise, I don't think we have a raid for tonight, so we're going to sign off here. And I hope you have a wonderful evening and don't have bad dreams about Cthulhu tentacle creatures, because I'm sure these guys will for a while. So
Only good dreams about Cthulhu
later,
tentacle
friends.
creatures.
Cthulhu just wants to love you. I don't understand.